Good morning. Welcome in. This update is presented by the Jim Petrel Real Estate Team. We'll begin here in local sports. The Aztecs basketball team cruising to a 91-57 win over St. Catherine yesterday. They got Stanford coming to town tomorrow night for their third Pac-12 matchup of the season. And in college football today, National Signing Day, Aztecs should be busy with about 24 players committing via social media to the Aztecs since Sean Lewis was hired. In the NFL, Week 16 gets going tomorrow night, and with just 3 weeks left in the season, 10 of the 14 playoff spots still wide open. Week 16 gets started with the Saints and Rams in LA. You'll hear that, and both teams are battling for a playoff spot. In the NBA, Ja Morant returns, and he beats the Pelicans 115-113 with a game winner from Ja Morant. Warriors beat the Celtics in overtime 132-126, and the Trailblazers take down the Suns 109-104. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Jim Petrel has the buyer. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
Yeah! Woo! Good morning. Happy Wednesday to those who celebrate Big Rich TD and Fletch with you. And we are off to the races on what ended up being a very busy sports moment yesterday. So I didn't expect it, actually. I didn't even know that this was happening, but Ja Morant came back for his first game since going through a 25-game suspension. Absolutely lit things up.
You could say he was firing on all cylinders.
You could definitely say that's more of an auto term than
unless you're talking about a revolver, I guess.
I suppose. Dual wielding.
You get it because of guns?
Yeah.
Really smart that we had to explain it.
Did it.
No, Ja Morant came back. It was a stunning performance. We'll get into that. Also, the Aztecs had a blowout victory. They're getting prepared to face the Stanford Cardinal that's coming into town in 2 days, or really tomorrow night. And then also, we've got some news trickling out of the NFL as we get ready for Thursday Night Football. So plenty to get into today, but where we have to start is something local. We have National Signing Day in college football. Today is an opportunity for the Aztecs to bolster and strengthen their roster. Look, this is happening earlier and earlier now. And the reason why you have this early signing date was originally instituted, I think, to help group of five and lesser powerful teams get a jump on recruiting and maybe steal away some better talent. So keep your eyes to the wire. There may be some names that are trickling across the bow that we didn't expect. And for Sean Lewis, who's the new head coach of the Aztecs football program, this is going to be a really important day. This is going to be a good barometer on what kind of season he's going to be able to put together. And also, let's be honest, when it comes to high school recruiting, this is really building for your future. A lot of these players, you're not going to hear their names called by myself or Ted Leitner for many, many years as they develop and turn into the talents who will eventually take over this program.
Yeah, and I think as of 2 days ago, the Aztecs were up to about 24 committed players, either transfer portal or from high school via social media. So those players would be signing today. Now, Rich, I don't really know this process super well, but is there going to be a lot more who haven't announced that they've committed who will pick their teams today?
Yeah, there will be. There will be some who wait all the way until the date. They don't put any sort of verbal commitment in or written commitment in to any team. I committed early. I was offered a scholarship from, I don't know, 25, 30 schools or something like that.
Same.
And a plane ride.
Well, yeah. Yeah. And a plane ride. That was an interesting day. But yeah, I was offered a bunch of scholarships, but I settled for, and by the way, just because you commit doesn't mean that other schools can't come in and offer you a scholarship. And then all of a sudden you can reconsider.
Well, especially today's college football, they can come in and sweeten the pot.
Yeah, and it's a verbal commitment. Yeah, I mean, you're not signing anything. So, but a verbal commitment is always nice to have. It's always a good
signing
thing.
day is a written commitment.
Signing day, yes.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
But even if it's a written commitment, you can then back out of it.
Yeah, nothing matters. Nothing matters until you actually get to the campus and they do all the paperwork to. I mean, you are still a student athlete, so you do admissions paperwork, and then you become enrolled at the school. So it becomes trickier once you enroll at a university, once you are on the football team at a university, to then transfer. There's a process that has to go into everything, and that's its own separate process. But leading up until that day, you can go wherever you want. It's just a piece of paper that says my intentions are to go to school X, Y, or Z.
Looks like a lot of quarterbacks committing. So I don't know if Aztecs are going the Padres route. How the Padres were like, you know what we should do is get all the shortstops we can. Aztecs are like, we should have between 3 and 14 quarterbacks.
I'm okay with it. I can figure out who the right guy is. But I think they have 2 who have already verbally committed, and they are expected to sign today. AJ Duffy and Danny O'Neill. One played last year at Fresno State, or Florida State, didn't really play, but had a couple of opportunities to get on the field and blow out wins. And then Danny O'Neill out of high school, 3-star recruit. Like, it is time to start getting excited about what's happening on the Mesa. I don't know if you guys saw yesterday afternoon, someone coming out of UCLA in the transfer portal to the Aztecs. He was a defensive back. There's a safety who is their highest high school recruit since, I think, Kiava Tizino. So it's like you're looking around, and social media, especially with the Sean Lewis staff, they're committed to blasting everything they do on social media, which I think is a good thing nowadays. And so we're just hearing a lot more. It's a lot more visible of what's happening on the Mesa. I don't know how different it is from years past, but it certainly feels like there's so much more juice.
Well, there is, because this is the first outside hire that the Aztecs have made in 15 years. I mean, since Brady Hoke was hired.
Yeah, since 2009.
It's a long time, so you start doing the math and you start thinking about the reason why there's so much excitement this offseason is because of the unknown. And you're hoping, obviously, that this change is a positive one. Nobody hires a head coach and thinks to themselves, or you shouldn't, and think to yourself, well, our season's over. Imagine that situation. That's awful. No, Sean Lewis obviously is a young, offensive-minded head coach. And I think when everybody was writing out their wish list, it's the holiday season, and thinking about who they wanted next on the Mesa, I would bet you if you polled the Aztecs alumni and the audience of people who watch Aztecs football either at home or listen on the radio or go to these games, they were probably close to the top of the list. Somebody young who understands social media, somebody who's offensive minded, because there have been back to back now defensive minded head coaches. And not to say that this program has suffered for it. This is the best run of success the Aztecs football program has ever enjoyed, but this definitely feels a little bit more modern.
I was sitting with Uncle Teddy last night courtside at the Aztecs basketball game. Uncle Teddy, by the way, looking good. I'm like, are you on SDFatLoss.com? Because it is falling off of him, man. And I know he's working on it. So congrats, Uncle Teddy. But I asked him, I said, Ted, what do you think about Sean Lewis? You've been around this program forever. Fletch, let me tell you, I've had 2 conversations with Sean. I don't think I said a single word. The guy can talk.
He can talk.
Like, if we know one thing about Sean Lewis, and we had him on the show, Darren will have him on, I think 12:30 today after some of the National Signing Day stuff gets going. But Sean Lewis, if there's one thing, it's not pulling teeth when you're doing an interview with him. Like, the guy will give you stuff. So I'm glad at what's happening right now, because it does feel like there's significant juice behind the program for the first time that I've covered him. And that's not to say that anyone else was doing something different. It just was different. Like, the juice wasn't the same because it wasn't as public. And this is very public and it's different. We don't know how it's going to work. But for me, I'm excited.
We don't know how it's going to work. And I feel like the reason it feels a little different is there's this glow about what's happening here. And for the first time, I am not looking at the Aztecs as, okay, what are they going to do in the Mountain West? I'm looking at this going, well, all of a sudden we're on a national stage. I mean, that's what it feels like. Whether or not they are, it remains to be seen. However, it feels like there's a lot of eyeballs looking this way, and it feels good.
Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does. And when you think about what you just said, the national stage, as opposed to what it used to be where you're competing in your conference and really your conference only, the 12-team playoff. Like, that has changed everything. So group of 5 teams now have a legitimate national championship hope. Now, I don't know how many of these group of 5 teams actually have a shot, but in theory, any one of them, especially with the way the transfer portal works now. Any one of them can all of a sudden ascend. And if they have a little bit of financial backing and a little bit of that kind of push, they can compete nationally now. And I mean for a championship. Like, this is a more meaningful season than we've ever had in college football, period. I mean, that's the end of that sentence. Now, another thing that actually has come up, and since it's National Signing Day in college football, is the fact that a lot of people are pretty uneducated about what name, image, and likeness actually is and how it works. I was having a conversation with a sports fan yesterday, and this is somebody who pays attention to sports. It's a hobby, it's a habit, whatever you want to call it, and had no idea how this works. So, just to give a quick 60 seconds of what this actually looks like, it's pretty simple. Players are able to capitalize off their name, image, and likeness. It used to be if you got a service or a product tendered to you because you were a star at a college football program or just a football player, you used to have an opportunity or you used to get in trouble for that. Nowadays, this is how it works. Like, if you go to a local business or if you go to one of these collectives and you say, hey, I want money, just a check, otherwise I'm leaving this football program, well, they can write you a check. And you don't necessarily even have to do anything other than show up and play in the games. And so these collectives, I just mentioned that word, are brand new. What's a collective? A collective is a group of people or organizations who literally pool money to give to student athletes now. And so the way football works, or the way all college sports work now, is you can pay athletes and they don't have to do anything but show up for work every day with their lunch pail and play basketball or play football at your university. It has changed dramatically in the past 2 years.
I feel
Nice
educated.
timing.
Yeah.
That was well done. And so, I mean, I think that leads us to the point where check out Aztec Link, check out the Mesa Foundation, do what you can, because a lot of this is community driven. Like, I think the green light is going to come eventually for schools to just legitimately cut checks to players, and it's going to turn into professional football, professional basketball. But as of right now, a lot of this is community driven. J.R. Tolver is a member of this community. He heads up one of these collectives. It's called Aztec Link. I highly recommend you go check it out. If you want better football players on the football field at Snapdragon Stadium, if you want better basketball players on the basketball court at Viejas Arena, a lot of that starts with you, the community members of San Diego. So again, just check those places out. Aztec Link, Mesa Foundation, read up on it a little bit and figure out ways you can help in this community.
Yeah, it's listen, I just to speak on all of this, I am in favor of players getting paid. I think that JR is doing a nice job. But the reality of this situation is this has worked out in reality very differently than I think any of us thought it would in theory. So you do have these collectives which are important for these athletes to make money, but also you got to remember these are brand new businesses. And fortunately for everybody in this community, I think the most popular collective is a good one. And I think that you're obviously going to see somebody who cares about the program involved, and, the money is going to go straight to the players. But there is a great opportunity across the country, at many different universities for people to be taken advantage of.
Scammers are going to come.
Anytime that there's already here.
Yeah, anytime there's an availability for people to make money, they'll figure out a way to work the system. And that's not just players I'm talking about. I'm talking about some of these collectives.
Not just work the system, but beat the system.
Right.
I mean, there's always they're always looking for loopholes. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, and it's going to be a big part of this. The conversation I was having with this sports fan yesterday, because I mean, legitimately, I was just getting peppered with questions about all this, was kind of to the tune of like, so wait a second, like, who has the power in this dynamic then? And I was like, it's a great question. And the truth is, more and more, it's going to be the collectives. So it used to be a football coach goes out and tries to recruit the best possible players. And don't get me wrong, there were shady under the table deals happening in the past, and there were definitely some wealthy alumni and donors to certain football programs who had sway in who gets recruited. But at the end of the day, the coach was the most powerful person in that structure. Well, now I mean, I heard rumors in the Big Ten of a certain school having a collective that's made over $10 million in 23. Okay. In 2024, that number could balloon up by double. If we get like a decade out, if it's still going this way, I mean, by 2030, we could be talking about tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars being funneled directly to the athletes through these collectives. You're telling me that somebody who's in charge of a collective that powerful is going to start inserting their sway into how recruiting is done? This is, trust me, I'm happy players are getting paid. And it's something that I've fought for and I've talked about for years now. But of course, the reality is much grimmer than we all thought it was going to be.
All right, Aztecs hoops last night. They cruised to a 91-57 win over St. Catherine. It was nice to see Cade Alger take the court and a lot of the guys who don't get a ton of playing time on the San Diego State Aztecs be able to play the majority of the last 10 minutes of the game. It was just fun to watch that. But a couple of injuries popped up last night, and that's what my morning monologue is going to be, so I'll save it for that. But a lot of people ticked off at some of the injuries that happened, thinking they could have been avoided. I'll have some reasoning for you there. Stanford coming to town tomorrow night. Their mascot is still a stupid tree for some reason. Still don't get that. Their name is the Cardinal. That'll be the third Pac-12 matchup for the Aztecs so far. College football today is National Signing Day. We were just talking about it. NFL Week 16 gets going tomorrow night. You'll hear it right here on San Diego Sports 760. It's the Saints. It's the Rams. Identical records, both fighting for a playoff spot in the NFC. And in the NBA, Ja Morant makes his return. He gets a win. He hits the game winner, 115-113 Grizzlies over Pelicans. Steph Curry had a night Celtics celebration last night as he hits a 3 in overtime as a dagger. They win 132-126. Trailblazers beat the Suns in Portland 109-104.
Boom.
Yeah. Landed that.
Whoa.
You're damn right it is.
Was that supposed to play?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if there was some new imaging we had.
I don't think so.
Really quick before we get to the monologue, do we want to quickly discuss the odds for a Super Bowl championship?
Yeah.
Just
okay.
Give us the top 10.
Top 10. Well, I'll give you the top 5. We don't need 10. Niners plus 200, Ravens plus 450. Then it gets a little distance. We have the Chiefs at plus 700, Dolphins and plus 800, Eagles at plus 850. Is there I guess I'll include the Cowboys who have had a heck of a season at plus 1,000. Is there a team in that group who you think is most likely to win, or maybe a team outside of the top 5 or 6 that you think has a legit shot to be playing in the final game or winning the final game?
If the Bills come out and play like they did last week for the remainder of the season, all of a sudden I feel like they have a shot here. They would move up the list very quickly for me. Now the Ravens sitting at number 2 plus 450. That's probably right odds wise. To me, my gut says the Chiefs are above them.
I saw Greeny on ESPN yesterday, and I usually don't agree with him, but I do on this point. He said the Dolphins do have an opportunity to just outscore everybody. And I don't know if I see it happening, but if you had to tell me to pick one team who I could see just going on a heater and really take over the entire postseason, it would be the Dolphins if they get on a run of scoring like 45 a game.
I think the latter part of this month and the early portion of next month is going to tell us a lot because, like you said, momentum is a hell of a thing into the postseason. So to your point, TD, if the Bills get on a heater, if the Dolphins get super hot, the reason why I don't trust both of those teams is because they're so much better against worse competition. But as soon as they play a good team, they really seem to struggle. Now, the Bills, they beat the Cowboys, but remember who the Cowboys are outside of AT&T.
Yeah.
At Jerry's World, they look like a completely different team than they do on the road, especially in Western New York. So that game withstanding, I'm not sure if I'm ready to crown the Bills as back on path. The Chiefs, though, look, they've been through this before. The only difference this postseason versus others is the Chiefs outside of the neutral site Super Bowl have hosted every single postseason game that Patrick Mahomes has ever played in. Now, the Tampa Bay loss in the Super Bowl was in Tampa Bay. It was a neutral site. Tom Brady happened to be playing for the Buccaneers, and that happened to be a home game for the Bucs. Okay, outside of that, though,
that they weren't allowed to fire the cannons at.
yeah, outside of that, it's been all home games for Patty Mahomes, so it could be different if they don't get that top seed in the AFC. So we'll see how it all shakes out. All right, TD, why don't you lead us off, man?
Okay, I'm going to start this off in the world of surf. No, not surf. Just kidding. Racing.
We always talk surfing.
Sorry.
6:20 a.m.
Sorry. little inside joke here. No big deal. Anyways, the world of racing, sort of. I watched Gran Turismo last night on Netflix.
Good flick.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I wasn't expecting to like it, and I kind of liked it. It was kind of cool. However, right out of the get-go here, well, I mean, the first part of the movie, this kid is now racing for the first time outside of a video game. He's out on the track. He's trying to work his way up to get that number one spot so he can go race with the big boys. And he is behind the leader, they say, by 6 seconds. Okay? 6 seconds.
Okay.
And then they go, you have one turn left. One turn, you're 6 seconds behind the leader. They show his speedometer. He's going 260 kilometers an hour, roughly 160 miles per hour. Okay. So I'm assuming the leader is going just slightly slower than him because, I mean, he's still racing. The leader does not crash. In order for him to catch up to the leader, he has to make up 2.6 miles per minute, 0.86 miles per the 20 seconds, which about is what it took before he got to the finish line. At 6 seconds behind, just over a quarter mile behind the leader, he would have to be traveling 210 miles per hour faster than the number one driver if the number one driver was actually slowing down as he was reaching the finish line. So I have to now believe that he has accelerated to 370 plus miles per hour so he could take the lead and win. Come on, Sony. Come on. We are not this gullible. Right, guys?
Hey, Fletch, what do you got today?
So last night the Aztecs were playing. San Diego State was taking on St. Catherine. It was a walkover victory for the Aztecs. In the last 10 minutes of the game, it was pretty much all guys who don't generally see the court. But a couple things happened in this game.
Like, I don't think his car could go that fast if they dropped it from a plane.
Someone deleted my King of the Nerd sounder, and I'll forever be pissed at that. But TD, jeez.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go back and find that. We need that back ASAP. Yeah.
Like, if you dropped it from space.
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, we're all there.
Terminal velocity.
I did hear, by the way, that movie was supposed to be 10 times better in theaters than it was at home. Because a lot of people viewing it for the first time at home have said it kind of sucks.
But I didn't think it was bad. It was all right.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
I mean, out of 10, 6.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but in the
that makes
Aztecs
sense.
game last night, Jaden Ledee makes his return. He had that elbow injury. He hasn't missed a beat. He started out. His first shot was a 3-pointer. I think he made the first 7 points for the Aztecs. The dude's gonna be fine. But in that game, Darion Trammell and Jay Powell both take injuries. They both ended up having to leave the game. Darion rolled his ankle, it looked like. Couldn't put any weight on it coming off the court. Jay Powell got an elbow or a hand to the face. And Dutch said post-game he might have a broken nose. So you start thinking, well, why would you be risking injury in a game against a team like St. Catherine? And there's a very simple reason. The Aztecs have been off for 10 days. They have Stanford coming to town tomorrow night. Like, you need to get these guys ramped back up to be able to play. You don't want to be knocking off the rust against a team with Pac-12 talent. I know Stanford's down this year. It's still a Pac-12 team with future NBA guys on that team. So you do not want to be going into that cold with 12 days rest. No, you need to get something going. You need to scrimmage, which is essentially what that was last night. So I don't blame Dutch. I don't blame the coaching staff. None of the normal rotation guys played more than 21 minutes in that game. And injuries happen in sport. It sucks. Darion Trammell might not be on the court tomorrow night against Stanford, but you can't really prevent against that. So people who are mad at the coaching staff just understand what they were trying to do. And what they were trying to do is knock the rust off before a big opponent.
Yeah. Listen, it's basketball is tricky this time of year, and it doesn't matter if you're watching college hoops or if you're watching the NBA.
You can roll your ankle in pregame warmups.
Yeah. A lot of these games, they don't matter until they do. And then something can happen like that, and it can derail a season. I mean, I was watching the Celtics last night in the Warriors game. Jason Tatum rolled his ankle in the first quarter. completely changed the game. If he's healthy, that game doesn't go to overtime. He was on a heater to start. Jaylen Brown was playing great. If he was on the court, it would be a completely different game. But
Right.
How
that's
about
how it
Steph
works.
Curry's night,
Oh,
night?
dude, Steph was on fire. After breaking the streak of 268 straight games with a three-pointer, he got restarted last night in a hurry. It was awesome. Okay, I want to stay with basketball for mine. Ja Morant, after 235 days and a 25-game suspension, is back for the Memphis Grizzlies. He was met with boos from a New Orleans crowd.
Yep.
We're going to get into this a little bit on the other side here, but I just wanted to give a teaser. The NBA needs to protect that man with every single ounce of their personnel, of their coaches in Memphis, of any former players. He is the future. That guy is good for at least 3 or 4 highlight-worthy plays a half. He's a sensation. He was the buzzer beater winner on that final layup for the Memphis Grizzlies. In his first game back, he scored 34. He was gassed the entire game, but he is one of those players who is a superlative talent amongst superlative talents. He was sharing a court with Zion Williamson, who, by the way, I understand everybody's like, he's fat, he's out of shape, he's not the player that he was coming out of high school. I'm telling you, Zion Williamson is still explosive. He's still highlight reel worthy.
The Pelicans drafted Zion ahead of Ja Morant, by the way.
But Ja Morant is on a different level. It's like watching young Kobe. It's like watching young Jordan. It's like watching young LeBron. They need to help this guy stay on the straight and narrow because he is the future of this league. There's no question about it. Okay, we'll get into that a little bit on the other side. But first, Benny, alongside all the NBA action, what were you doing last night?
I'm glad you brought up Ja Morant because Ja Morant was on my pick'em entry on prizepicks.com/Fletch. Use promo code Fletch for a first deposit match up to $100. Ja Morant was on it. That more hit. The rest of my mores did not hit. So it wasn't a great night for me on Prize Picks last night, but it was this past weekend. I made $500 this past weekend. And a lot of the complaints about some of these daily fantasy platforms are that, well, the withdrawals take forever. Not with Prize Picks. I withdrew on Sunday. By Monday morning, the money was in my bank account. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay. If you got the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Prize Picks, super simple to play. I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. In fact, I was doing it courtside last night at the Aztecs game. Uncle Teddy looked over and said, Fletch, what are you doing? And I said, well, Uncle Teddy, you got to get on over to prizepicks.com/Fletch and get you a first deposit match up to $100. Prizepicks.com. Promo code Fletch, first deposit match up to $100. It'll pay for itself. I can almost promise you that because with me, I had the skills, man. Over this past weekend between UFC and NFL, I was able to make $500 withdraw in my bank account. Rent's going to feel a little bit better this month. Prize Picks even offering a reboot policy so that your entries stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. Now offering Apple Pay for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season, this basketball season. Not to mention the MMA Prize Picks projections that they have, as well as Call of Duty. Pretty much anything you want is on Prize Picks. It's the #1 daily fantasy sports platform in North America for a reason. It's because they're the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS. You're playing against the numbers instead of betting against thousands of other players, including pros and sharks. You pick more or less on a 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Prizepicks.com/Fletch. Prizepicks.com/Fletch. It's first deposit match up to $100.
He's a phenom, but can he stay out of trouble? For one league's sake, they absolutely need that to be the case.
This update is presented by the Jim Betrell real estate team, starting off locally with San Diego State basketball, cruising to a 91-57 win over St. Catherine yesterday. And it should be a busy day on the campus at San Diego State. It's a National Signing Day. Sean Lewis has about 24 commits via social media so far. We'll see how many more get added today. NFL Week 16 going down tomorrow night. And with just 3 weeks left, 10 of the 14 playoff spots still wide open in the NBA. John Morant, he's back, and he came back in a big way. 115-113 win for the Grizzlies over the Pelicans. John Morant hits the game winner. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Jim Betrell has the buyer. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
So, yeah, I'll start that early.
Big Rich, Sheedy, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760, the 44th annual DirecTV Holiday Bowl happening a week from today, December 27th, out at Petco Park, Louisville versus USC. You can get tickets at holidaybowl.com, or you can keep listening because we do have a pair of those to give away. We also have a pair of Aztecs tickets versus Stanford tomorrow night, Viejas Arena. Tickets and info, go aztecs.com. But they may be sold out.
It might already. It was getting close last night.
Okay. All right. Or keep listening here for your chance to win. Also, side note, big thank you to Jeremy, who sent in a Christmas card.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful family, Jeremy. God, we love you. And thank you for thinking of us. And it just makes me think, man, you know what? You guys are a part of our family as well, all the listeners out there. So thank you for sending Christmas cards in and making us feel like we're part of yours.
Yeah,
the Brodies, the dogs, the hangers, the bangers. We love y'all.
This it's always fun when you're walking around in life, you know what I mean? We leave the studio and you never really turn off your job in media, because breaking news, and especially in sports, happens all the time. And it's not kind of the breaking news that you want to run from like, if you're a newscaster, maybe you'll wait until you get to your desk the next day. Like, it's fun to chip in on breaking sports news, because usually it's like, oh, this amazing signing for a team, or holy cow, this team did, whatever it is. Last night, the breaking news of the night was John Morant's return, and it was absolutely stunning. It was absolutely incredible. John Morant went off for the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, nobody's going to remember some random December 19th game it wasn't all that important in terms of their season, but in terms of his career, it was the welcome back or the Grizzlies were hoping for. He delivered on back and looking like the superstar he was when this suspension began. He was, I mean, he was incredible yesterday.
Yeah, I mean that's fun. That's fun. We talked about it yesterday of the basketball of the '90s, how great it was to watch. It's because felt like there were so many of those games that came down to the very end, and there had to be some superstar to step up and just blow your mind with some magnificent play. That's what Ja Morant does. That's what he did last night. That's why it was fun to watch. You mentioned it before we came into this segment here about how the NBA needs to protect this guy because he is the future of the NBA. That is so true. I mean, you have to have this magic back, NBA. You have to have it. The problem I have is I have a bad attitude about Ja Morant. So somehow you're going to have to keep him squeaky clean and then somehow have to change people like my mind around that this guy is not just a total jerk, because as much as I love watching plays like this, as much as I love watching nail biters down to the last second basketball, God, it's fun. When it's a guy that just rubs me the wrong way, like Ja Morant, like LeBron James does now, I get a little skeeved out. So you're going to have to change my mind, NBA.
NBA has a imaging problem, and I think they have for a while now. I think their relationship with China pissed a lot of people off, and you could see it in the viewership numbers. When all of that was going public, NBA viewership started to tank. And now NBA has a problem of, well, the game's not all that appetizing because there's no defense being played. It's a lot of one shot up, and that's the end of the possession. Like, let's be very clear. Ja Morant's an idiot. I don't know that he's a jerk. I don't think he's a bad guy. He is an idiot. He's been caught on social media multiple times flashing a weapon. Like, after knowing that he can't do that. He also had an altercation with the 17-year-old kid. Like, Ja Morant has not been a smart person.
Well, all alleged.
All alleged.
Yeah.
I will,
So,
the flashing a weapon on social media is not alleged. We all saw that.
No. But the altercation with a teenager was an alleged altercation. It was a he said. He also had an alleged he allegedly threatened a security guard. You mentioned the social media moments where, he flashed or was brandishing guns. I mean, you're absolutely right when to have the opinion that you have of him.
Well, and all that can be true, and he could still be an incredible basketball player. I love watching Ja Morant play basketball, but saying the NBA needs to protect him, how about Ja Morant grows up a little bit and understands the opportunity he has?
You're not looking at it from a business standpoint. Ja Morant is a product as much as he is a person. And I'm sorry to make it sound so transactional, but that's what you are when you're in the NFL. I went through the meat grinder. I knew who I was. I was just one of the happy cows that they were milking the entire way. Look, that's what it is. You're a product.
You're part of the show.
Yes,
you're part of the show.
So look, like just like any other athletic endeavor in my life, the coaches who had a vested interest in me wasn't just because they thought I was a really great guy, and wasn't just because like they thought, geez, he's got a bright future after he leaves here. It was because they were being paid to turn me into the greatest football player they could possibly turn me into at my position, because I'm the product.
Okay, so I think we're just looking at it from two different angles. You're looking at it from the league. I'm looking at it from Ja Morant. He, as of now, has been throwing away a potentially hugely successful and bountiful money-wise career up to this point. Now, I believe it's more on Ja Morant to figure his stuff out.
I'm not saying you're wrong. Look, personal accountability is super important in this, but you have to remember how much money is at stake on a player becoming the face of the league. If he has any shot of representing this league, they need to encourage him that he is going to be that if he keeps his nose clean, if he doesn't have those altercations and brush-ins with the law.
And they can do it. They can do it. They've done it before. See Kobe Bryant for details. I mean, come on. He did some things that people weren't happy with and somehow turned it around, and he is a legend. So they can do it. And I don't think Ja Morant is a bad guy. I don't. He just gives off that vibe that maybe he's got a little bit of an attitude. Maybe he's got a chip on his shoulder. Maybe he thinks he's a little bigger than he should think he is. And I agree with you, Fletch. He's probably young and dumb, and he's an idiot. And people grow up. However, I mean, the Michael Jordans of the world were young and dumb.
Yeah.
This didn't happen.
They weren't around with social media because who knows what you don't know what people are into. Yeah, right. I mean, and we've
heard stories about Michael's days.
Oh yeah, everybody has, and
we all have stories too,
of course. But we aren't products in $1 billion organization.
Yeah, we are.
Wait, oh yeah.
Sorry. I meant yes, we are. Speaking of which, if you're looking for a new dentist, I want you to check out Ocean View Dental. So I was introduced to Ocean View Dental and Dr. Jordan Colby through a friend, LaDonna Harvey. She works on the news over here at iHeart San Diego. She said, you got to meet this doctor. If you have any trouble with your teeth, go see Dr. Jordan Colby at Ocean View Dental. OceanViewDental.net, by the way, is the website if you want to head there now. She had a bunch of work done. I needed extensive work done. And so I didn't know where to turn. I was told that it would take 1.5 years to have 3 implants done, to have another tooth extracted. I was super nervous about the procedure. But after sitting down with Dr. Colby and him explaining everything from start to finish, showing me digital imaging, explaining his process, his procedure, he said, we can have this done inside of 3 months. And guess what? He made good on that promise. I had brand new teeth in less than 3 months. I didn't miss a day of work. I didn't experience pain. That was the weirdest part about this. I was really like buckling down to have some days off and really need to recover. I didn't feel like I needed that. I was at work the next day with these guys, and thank goodness for it, because it really was a blessing not to have to go through a lot of what I thought I was going to have to go through with my other dentist. I'm glad for making the change. I'm hoping that for you as well. Again, OceanViewDental.net. His specialty is implants, but he does so much more. If you're just due for your next teeth cleaning and you're looking for a great family dentist, I want you to go to Ocean View Dental. They've got a place in Fallbrook as well. They do amazing work for you and your family. Again, OceanViewDental.net. A closer look at the NFL playoff picture on the other side. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, we got the free iHeartRadio app. And if you're listening on the app right now, we appreciate you. Share a link with a friend. Best way to support the show is by spreading the word about the show. But if you haven't downloaded the app yet, it's free. And it's awesome, especially this time of year. If you're looking to have, I don't know, people over for the holidays, a little holiday music on in the background. Maybe you want to put together a playlist. I buy the premium service. I think it's awesome. But the app is free for everybody out there to use. Really, really cool. So, all right. The NFL playoff picture is becoming clearer, but at the same token, we've got a lot of really important games coming up, and Thursday Night Football is no different. New Orleans Saints, they're sitting at 6 wins. The Los Angeles, Saints have 6 wins. Rams are sitting at 7 wins.
They're both 7-7.
Yeah, both teams 500, 7-7.
Are they really?
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Saints were 6-8.
It's 7-7. They are on the outside looking in.
Yeah, they're outside. So the Rams have the
There's
7th
like
seed.
4 or 5 teams in the NFC who are all at 7 wins, and one of them's a division leader in the Bucks.
The Bucks, the Vikings, the Rams, the Seahawks, the Saints all sit 7-7.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, well, the Rams have the 7 seed. New Orleans Saints looking for control of the South, and also obviously looking for a wild card berth if they should find a way. You're absolutely right. I read
These
that
teams
wrong this
can
morning.
flip-flop on Thursday night.
Yeah.
If the Saints are to get a win here. So this game is like massive for playoff implications. I know when we looked down the line and saw Saints-Rams on a Thursday nighter, we're like, oh, it's going to be another Al Michaels disappointment. But it's really not when you think about what's on the line here. And I think the schedule is littered with those games over the last 3 weeks. And we were talking about it yesterday. Like this weekend, we get the Niners-Ravens, and then who are the Dolphins playing? It's another potential Super Bowl matchup.
Oh, yeah, that is a good one,
But
too.
it might be the Cowboys. I think it is. But then you look at the rest of the games and you think, oh, these are kind of stinkers, but they're not because of how close all these teams are bunched in the AFC and the NFC trying to get into the postseason.
Well, so the Saints right now, they have to get this win to get back in the playoff picture on Thursday night. But also, if they get this win and then beat Tampa Bay straight up the next game that they play, I mean, all of a sudden you're talking about a Saints team that can find themselves as a division leader, hosting one of these wild card teams at their house.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild finish to the season.
In fact, it could be the Saints hosting the Cowboys.
Yeah. It could be the Cowboys going to New Orleans. Yeah.
And that does not bode well for the Cowboys.
Or the Eagles, because I think the Cowboys currently are ahead of the Eagles.
Yeah, the Cowboys have control of the NFC East. The Eagles at 10 wins are in the wild card.
However, this week the Eagles have the Giants at home.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys are headed to Miami.
Right. So it could look very different. Also, just sticking with the NFL for a second, just to jam it in here. We have an update on the Tommy DeVito situation with the pizzeria.
Yeah.
So he did decide to show up to the pizzeria. I don't believe he was paid. And they canceled their official appearance for the New York Giants starting quarterback to go out to Coniglio's in New Jersey. And there was all this, he doubled his rate after the big Packers win, all this stuff. So he shows up and he was mixing some old-fashioned sodas with the owner of the restaurant.
For free.
Oh, yeah.
Pro bono. To save face here. He also demoted his agent. He put somebody above him you have to go through that guy first before you get to Sean Stiletto,
It's probably the right call, right?
Well,
this guy, it was a TV character.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess. But Tommy
like
DeVito
Rich put it perfect. It was like if you ask AI to generate Tommy DeVito's agent, that's what it would look like.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like a sitcom character.
It looks like it was his friend from high school who he promised a job.
No, it would be if like Rich got some huge national TV gig and he was like, "Hey, TD Fletch, you guys want to be my agent?"
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming you would do.
100%.
Good.
And I would want you to wear free beer shirts. Like I would want you to be like, people talk to me and then they'd be like, "Hey, your agent's always wearing stuff that says Coors Light on it." Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. So I don't even have to change my wardrobe.
No. Also, they talk a lot about Keg and Bottle.
Yeah.
We get it. 10 locations all throughout San Diego County.
They're super curious about just in general about the wieners of football players. Like we don't get the fascination, but we got a lot of questions about shower time for whatever reason. Really weird.
Yeah.
Really super weird.
But I mean, to each his own.
Yeah. Listen, we're not saying that it's bad. We're just saying it made everyone in the room uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen the show Entourage.
Listen,
Yeah.
Tommy DeVito had a great week. He was living the high life, sitting on cloud nine. His agent kind of screwed it up for him. Then he has a terrible game. Things start to fall apart. So now he's trying to fix things. He's got to save face here because guess what? In a couple weeks, Tommy DeVito may only be doing pizzeria appearances.
Yeah. Just doing it for like $25.
Yeah.
There's a very real possibility Tommy DeVito never plays in the NFL again after this
That's
season.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He's got a few weeks left, and then literally he's gonna have a radio gig out in New Jersey.
I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him so bad. I want him to be in the Hall of Fame one day. Hopefully he is.
You know what? If he is, we're going.
You're damn right. We're going to Canton.
Yeah.
He has no idea, but we're going. All right. The holiday season is here, and our friends over at Underdog Fantasy, they're running their 12 days of social promos starting December 14th. If you haven't heard of Underdog Fantasy yet, buckle up, buddy. They are the easiest place to play fantasy basketball every single night of the season. I was doing this last night. I had a pick'em entry going with Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and John Morant. That one hit. I had a Kevin Durant one going. Also, that one was a hit. It was a fantastic night on my Underdog Fantasy app. And if you don't know what the pick'em game is, you pick between 2 and 5 players. Select whether they're going to go higher or lower on their stats. And if your pick wins, you can win big. Like I said, I had plenty of these going last night. You should do all NBA season long. So go to their easy-to-use app or UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with promo code XTRA, and Underdog will double your first deposit of $10 or more up to $100. And in the spirit of the holidays, Underdog is doing promos over the site formerly known as Twitter. Follow at Underdog Fantasy and be on the lookout for ways to win a Nintendo Switch and more. Must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concern with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. All right, coming up next, a major school may want out. We'll explain on the other side. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Yeah! Woo! Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day to all who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you, and we're ready and raring to go. We've got what's going on? What do you got?
He said I didn't do the mic when you said happy hump day,
yeah,
and I apologized, and then he pouted.
Stickler for tradition.
Can we just do it one more time?
Yeah!
Okay, great, good.
Happy Wednesday to those who celebrate. Happy hump day.
Mike.
Yeah, now it
Okay,
feels right.
okay.
Yeah. Big
Good.
Rich, TD, and Fletch with
Off
you.
the list.
We've got so many things to get to, including a great giveaway. We got 44th annual DirecTV Holiday Bowl tickets giveaway. USC Louisville coming to town a week from today. Kickoff at 5 p.m. at Petco Park. We're going to have KGB Sky Show following that event. So if you want to gain entrance to both of those great events, you could go over to holidaybowl.com, buy tickets there, or just wait for your opportunity to win them right here on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. So we were talking a lot about National Signing Day when we started the show. Aztecs football going to be busy today, getting a bunch of commits to put their verbal commitment to good use and sign the dotted line. You know, again, anybody can decommit. The paper is about worth about as much as the leaf of paper it's written on, or the contract, so to speak. But it is significant from this standpoint. Most of the time when guys sign their official letter of intent to come to a university, it means they've made their final decision. And at very least for that season, you've got them in your program. And if you're a good coach, if you have a good football program, and the hope certainly is that Sean Lewis is going to lead the Aztecs into a bright future, many of these players are going to stay for the duration of their career.
And if you go over to San Diego State football's Twitter account at AztecFB, it's already starting. They have been putting out tweets since the wee hours of the morning this morning with people making their signing. And I mean, don't want to count them because it's a lot to count, but there's probably a dozen tweets out this morning of welcome to the Mesa and a quick little video. AJ Duffy's one of them who's already signed. So they're starting to roll in, and it's going to continue throughout the day. By the way, Sean Lewis is going to be joining Darren Smith a little later on.
Yeah, excited to hear from the head coach of the Aztecs football team. You'll hear that right here on the home of the Aztecs, San Diego Sports 760. Also on the docket, Brian Dutcher's boys are going to be taking on the Stanford Cardinal. That's coming up tomorrow night, tip-off at 6 p.m. right here on 760. So,
did you ever play against Stanford?
Did I play against Stanford? No.
Okay, so their mascot is a tree.
Yeah.
And it's a guy in a tree costume that dances around like an idiot. And I was at the game in Palo Alto last year when San Diego State beat Stanford.
Was it me?
It's literally like a tree. It has arms and it dances the entire time. It doesn't stop. It
What's his
pisses me
name?
off for some reason.
I forget. Then I think they just call him the Stanford tree.
The Stanford tree.
But what's crazy is they're also not their name, their official mascot name has nothing to do with trees. They're the Cardinal, and you may think, oh, you're mispronouncing that. The Cardinals, like plural. No, not the bird, the color.
For all the smart people that go to Stanford, God, they're dumb.
It's not a Catholic thing.
No, and it has zero
It's a
religion.
color.
It's just the color Cardinal, like in the Crayola box. It's ridiculous.
And it's not even a good tree mascot. Like, it looks so cheap.
Yeah, dude, that kind of looks like it was a different costume that they added googly eyes to. Yeah.
I kind of like it. He's an angry, leafy pile.
yeah, that's a great way to do it. He looks like if a tree piled up laundry to do. Like
Right. Or if you asked maybe like a first grade class to assemble the mascot costume.
Yeah. Hey guys, we're in a bit of a time crunch, so we're gonna give this to Mrs. Cooper's kindergarten class to handle.
That's exactly what it is. And I'm not here to just talk crap about a university. Obviously, Stanford speaks for itself. But when I was at Stanford last year, I was like, is this a high school gym for the basketball arena?
Oh, dude.
Like, it's super old. It seats like 4,000 people.
Ouch.
It's pretty small. And then the student section is a little bit of an embarrassment because no offense to Stanford again, but it's a bunch of nerds. And there's a tree that's just twerking in front of the student section the whole time. And again, it's a bad looking tree.
I know
Disagree.
you're upset by this, but I will say that mascot is one of my favorites because of how ridiculous it looks. Like, I don't really love like a well put together, a well-groomed mascot. Like, I remember one time somebody described to me like what the Nittany Lion mascot looks like? Because you see the guy or girl, I guess, who's wearing the Nittany Lion costume at Penn State games. They're like, it looks like a very methy lion, like a lion that has, really fallen off the wagon.
Lion from Merced, California.
Very methy. It almost looks like a bear head.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, we can make it a lion.
They're like, whatever, good enough.
Yeah.
Just tell them to wear socks. That's all. We don't want the suit to stink like the last one.
Oh, wait, what's going on here? Why is the Nittany Lion flashing me?
Yeah, but I love bad mascots.
Yeah, that is a bad mascot. That's did they make that in 1950 and just stick with it from that point on?
100%.
Okay.
Like somebody or like Depression era. It was like 1935, and they were just like, look, we've run out enough felt to make this thing.
But
and
at
they're
least
like,
it's
it's supposed to be a lion, right?
It's a cougar.
yeah, it doesn't really look like it. Well, I do understand what you're saying, though. The Nittany Lions is supposed to be a mountain lion, and they did their best job to make it a mountain lion. The Stanford Cardinal has a tree for no reason.
It's not a bird. It's not a color. It's a tree.
It's a tree. It's a tree.
Just make it make sense.
Anyway, so the Aztecs are facing Stanford. They're coming down to Viejas Arena.
Dumbasses with a 4.2 GPA.
There was a reason they were the tree is a member of the Stanford band, a representative of El Palo Alto, the redwood tree, which is the logo of the city of Palo Alto.
Understood.
Yeah. So
well, actually,
I don't know why
I
Cardinal.
Don't understand.
What?
I don't understand any of it.
I guess because the schools in Palo Alto.
A lot
so
of dumb
the
people up
redwood
there.
tree.
I'm still the loose connection, but I will say this, not to continue to poop all over Stanford, but they also call their stadium the library because of how quiet it is. Now they don't. It's been a nickname given to the football program stadium, but yeah. So, anyways, the library, and trust me, I've called a game there. It is a suiting nickname.
That's awesome.
We could hear our voices echoing back to us.
Well, and the student section is studying during the games. Like, that's not even a joke.
They'll bring books. Yeah, they'll bring books. It's pretty embarrassing. All right, well, San Diego State has their work cut out for them this non-conference schedule. Brian Dutcher, he's really put together a test for the guys, and so far I feel like they've passed the test. Now, it hasn't been passed with flying colors. I think that they could have, arguably from a record standpoint, from a gameplay standpoint, shown out better. But I'm really impressed with this Aztecs basketball team. They've already faced some adversities early on, and they've overcome a lot of them. I hope by the time we get to conference play, they've got it all tuned up and they're ready to go, because Mountain West, this conference is no slouches this year.
There's 4 teams in the top 30 of the net right now in terms of the Mountain West. So you're looking at another year where I think 4 or 5 teams could get into March Madness. And San Diego State's playing good basketball right now. I think the biggest advantage they've had over the last couple is that their bench is finally starting to heat up. So those losses at Grand Canyon, at BYU, if you had any sort of support for your bench, could have easily been wins. And now I say those 2 losses at BYU and Grand Canyon, those are both quad 1 losses.
Yeah.
So metrically, you're
Good
still fine.
Losses.
Yeah, and not to mention Gonzaga is coming up.
Yeah.
You beat Gonzaga on the road in Spokane. All of a sudden, you're skyrocketing into the top 15.
Can you imagine if they get a 10-point win over the Zags?
That would literally let you coast for a while.
Man, is Noreen Ippolito going to come in and fight us, though?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, she's a San Diego State fan.
I know. But
she has to be.
But she has to wear 2 hats.
Yeah.
Because she has kids.
Yeah.
And that's how it works.
Since we're going on a little bit of a rampage and I'm tired and I don't feel bad, Mark Few has the most punchable face in all sports.
He's got a punchable face. I agree with that.
Okay.
Brian Dutcher looks like somebody who, like, oh, man, I wish he was like my dad or my granddad.
Right.
Like Mark Few, he kind of looks like a guy you're like, gosh, I kind of want to get a running start from row 10.
Right.
Come down the stairs and hit him with 2 feet directly in the chest.
You
or
know,
like
Captain America punch where he wall rides and then jumps down and punches. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, the anime thing where you fly almost like Superman with your fist just extended right into his face.
Breaking the sound barrier.
Yes.
And people nearby are just hearing a sequence of booms as you cut through the air to punch him.
Speaking of breaking the sound barrier, that is almost what that car would have to do to catch
And
up
we're back
to the leader in Gran Turismo.
If you missed the morning monologue,
I'm just saying, I like literally it would you would so breaking the sound barrier, that car would have to travel so fast that you would hear a sonic boom because sound would collapse behind the car. as sonic booms do. So it just doesn't seem possible. I mean, I don't even know if he could survive it, to be quite honest, as I'm watching this movie.
I hate you. Oh my gosh. We have to move the morning monologue. I've decided we need to move it into the 7 o'clock hour, the 8 o'clock hour, so more people can hear the things that TD comes up with. Like, the morning monologue, it's like a minute each. We each get about 60 to 75 seconds to air out something unbroken,
Right.
and just get it off our chest.
Right.
TD chose the movie Gran Turismo and how the second place car overtook the first place car, making up 6 seconds in the final turn of a
I
race.
spit on myself.
Shocking that a movie would embellish.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
moving
It
on.
made $121.6 million in box office.
Yeah.
How much did it cost to
A
make?
little
I have
flick.
no idea.
$30. It was basically a video game.
So the San Diego State men's basketball team blew the doors off of St. Catharines last night at Viejas Arena. 91-57 final. Jaden Ledee led the way with 17 points. Reese Waters added 15 points. Jay Powell off the bench added 10 more. Next on the schedule tomorrow night, tip-off at 6 p.m. is the Stanford Cardinal. Staying with basketball, also superlative performance from Jean Morant, who got back with the Grizzlies after a 25-game suspension to start the season, scored 34 points. He had the buzzer beater at the end. They take out the Pelicans, the Grizzlies do, 115-113. In the NFL, CJ Stroud still in the concussion protocol. So he got injured on December 10th against the Jets in a 30-6 loss. Missed last game against the Titans. Looks like he's going to miss this upcoming game, and it's a huge one in terms of playoff standing against the Cleveland Browns. It'll be Case Keenum if he can't go. And coming up tomorrow night, Thursday Night Football, we touched on this earlier. We got the Saints taking on the Rams, another huge game in terms of playoff implications. So coming down the stretch of the season, week 16, boys.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be some fun watch the next few weeks here. I can't wait.
I want to
Oh my God.
Becky,
stop the show.
Becky.
We got a text from the 401, and
I
of
heard
course, this is just ripped everything. Guys, if you want to talk about terrible, horrifying mascots, Google the Providence Friar.
Okay.
I will wait.
Okay.
I just looked it up. It's something out of a horror movie.
Somebody else is a friar?
Okay, that's fine.
Providence.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. I love
I didn't type in the right thing.
it. It does kind of look like the Grim Reaper. Wow.
I mean, horrifying is putting it lightly.
They call
That's
him-
the stuff you would see in nightmares.
They call him Friar Dom, and he wears long robes with wizard sleeves and a dark, what would you call that? A habit?
like a hood.
a hood?
Yeah.
Like an executioner's
Yeah.
hood.
Yeah. Absolutely that.
And it has a plain face with giant eyes that are soulless and black.
That is correct. That's
That
great.
is
great
a
description.
Is his like motto? You want me to let you meet Jesus?
I wonder what the motto
I'll make you
is.
famous.
What's the Providence University motto?
Providence Friar motto. Okay. All.
Dude, it's like the
I don't know.
Padres Friar mascot is like such a happy
Yeah,
looking.
he's
like,
happy.
You
Want to hang out with
Oh,
them.
wow. The motto of the University of Providence, in thy light we see light.
Ah,
Jesus. I mean,
God.
literally. Jesus might have said that.
Wow.
Wow, this is
It's kind of like the Undertaker. There.
thank you for the
He
text.
does look
401.
like an executioner.
If you want to text the show, 70470, start your message with team. We'll try to
actually
read 'em.
actually
Nicely done.
there's another motto that says Virtus cum sentia.
Wow. I
By the
don't
way,
think I
you
can
guys
say
have
that
the-
on the air.
TD, you got the new phone number handy?
It's Latin.
Wait, is the new
It's
phone
active.
number active?
Yeah, it was like a huge part of Darren Smith and John
Hold
and
on.
Jim yesterday. The
Is-
new phone number.
So the old number's not active?
No,
I thought
they're both active for the next couple of weeks, but the new one's taking over fully.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I got
get,
that
get
email.
a pin.
I got that email and I did not give out the new phone number because I was like, I'm just gonna keep rolling with the old one
Here we
until I'm forced to remember.
You ready for it?
Yeah, yeah.
877
Okay.
767
877
4760.
4760. 877 767 4760.
That's correct.
What?
It's
877 4. Oh, geez.
877 767 4760.
Oh, it's like 4.
Yeah, to
7,
call
like you're calling
for
760.
760.
All right.
Yeah.
Real quick, just gonna I guess open the curtain slightly. What a dumb decision to change it to that. Like you're telling me of all the 10-digit numbers in the universe that we could have gone with, 877-767-4760
Oh, you
was
already
the
know it. You already know it.
best we could come
What?
up with.
A lot of sevens.
That
Just say it
is-
for the next like 10 times in a row and you'll have it.
No, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Hold on.
Why didn't we use something? Can't you say like I don't know, like
Call sports.
call sports or like call 760? Like you just
Yeah.
figure out the numbers. Like, oh my god.
Okay, I'm
What
gonna
are we-
clear the phone lines.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Wait, somebody's dialing.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you
First
hung up.
person to call 877-767-4760. Let's give them a pair of Aztecs.
How do we
tickets.
know
I
that they
love that
dialed that
idea.
number?
I love that idea. So these are Aztecs tickets for the upcoming Stanford Cardinal
Yeah,
game.
and by the way, I'm blind putting you on the air.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
All right.
So 877-767-4760. First caller on the line wins the tickets, and we have one. Okay, we
Okay.
have a winner.
859. Who do we got?
Yeah, who are we talking to?
Hey, it's Kevin.
Kevin, what's up, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. I was like, new number. I got to call this thing.
Did-
And then hung up on me.
What? Yeah, he cleared the line. Yeah, we saw your number there, and he just dumped it immediately. Look at everybody dialing in. How about that?
All right.
The new number works. Well, congrats, man. Thanks for calling 877-767-4760. You the
Yeah.
man, Kevin.
Fletch is going to take your information, Kevin, off the air. But wow, my goodness. Our crack team behind the scenes really dialing it in literally and figuratively. Well done to whoever decided that 877-767-4760 was the number.
You have it memorized already.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not an idiot. It's 10 numbers, but for the love of God, we couldn't do anything phonetical with this. I mean, they literally
4760.
Oh,
You're calling 4760.
Wow. Look at Friar Dom here in this photo. Just eerily looking in the background.
There's a
at the
cheerleader.
cheerleader.
There's a cheerleader doing a back bend, and the dom or the friar rather
Mhm.
it looks like she's next.
Apparently, exactly. Apparently, Purdue Pete also people find scary. I kind of like him.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like a hardworking man.
There's something called, oh gosh, it's the uncanny valley. So whenever you're watching animation, right? And they try to make it look as
Yeah.
realistic as possible.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's this feeling that you get, and it's called the uncanny valley, where when something is made to look human, but it's just slightly off, it's more creepy than something that's very much so like characterized.
Yeah.
Like you look at like Disney movies and Moana, for example, like
Right.
big eyes and like very much looks like a cartoon. So it's not alarming. But when certain movies come out and the animation is too close to human, but there are those little things that are off.
Yeah.
If it turns your stomach.
Like Caroline.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect example.
Caroline, where it's meant to be creepy.
This
It's
time,
like the purge may start.
this time of year, turn on the Polar Express.
Oh, right.
The animated Tom Hanks played the conductor.
You
Turn
know what?
on the
He played
Polar-
like 10 people in that movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
You
right.
know, you know who I did not like in that movie?
Who?
Again, to talk like this.
I know.
And the whole time.
Is it because he reminded you too much of yourself?
Remind me of Fletch is what happened. Yeah. Remind me of Fletch.
You're about to get a knuckle sandwich if you keep this up.
Over the weekend we had to go out to Orange County, and I was getting ready to go. I'm throwing stuff in the car, and my wife comes and says, "Hey, you know what? Let's just take the truck." And I'm go, "Oh, you mean the GMC truck? The North County Cadillac GMC truck? Yeah, no problem. I will gladly go ahead and throw our stuff in that, because I'm telling you, it's awesome. It's beautiful. In fact, I was down at North County Cadillac GMC, just walking the lot, just seeing what they had there. We got a brand new dually on the lot. If you guys want to see a beautiful truck, yeah, ow, indeed. I would like to have one of those. Just saying, if you're looking for a Christmas present, hun. In fact, if you're looking for a Christmas present, Jamie and his team over there, they are going to help you save big this December. Jamie, the GM, go ahead, ask for him. Walk in, he'll get you hooked up. He's going to help you save big on Cadillac and GMC models. By the way, as I'm sitting here touting how great North County Cadillac GMC is, I'm not the only one. They were voted San Diego's best domestic auto dealer in the San Diego Union Tribune Readers Poll. So whether you're looking for a car, truck, SUV, they're going to take care of you. Don't wait, though, because you're running out of time. I mean, we are 4.5 shopping days left till Christmas. So go down there, treat yourself this holiday season. Make sure you pick up a big red bow because it looks great sitting in the driveway on your brand new truck, car, SUV. Visit the North County Cadillac GMC in the heart of the Escondido Auto Mall to test drive and experience vehicles like the GMC Sierra, like the GMC Sierra 1500, 2500, that 3500, that 1-ton dually. Come on. Or you can shop their huge selection of inventory online. North County Cadillac GMC, exceeding your expectations every time. Joy Taylor going to be joining us next. Let's talk some football.
Coming up next, we'll be joined by Joy Taylor, host of Speak on FS1. We'll get her thoughts on who the Chargers should hire as their next head coach and an update on the NFL heading into the postseason. That's next.
This update is presented by Macy's Backstage. San Diego State cruises to a 91-57 win over St. Catherine yesterday. They got Stanford coming up tomorrow night. NFL Week 16 gets going tomorrow night. Just 3 weeks left. 10 of the 14 playoff spots still wide open. And on the Mesa, go check out at Aztec FB on Twitter because there is about 20 people that have already announced their signing this morning on National Signing Day. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? How about the perfect holiday gifts? Just $25 and under, like matching family PJs, fragrance sets, toys, and more. Find the latest trends, new arrivals, and great prices at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
Big Red City and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. We still got Holiday Bowl tickets we're going to be giving away, so keep it locked in for that. Meanwhile, very special guest here.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Radio personality, television personality, host of Speak on FS1 weekdays, 1:30 p.m. Joy Taylor, friend of the show. She's back. How you doing this morning, Joy?
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you on for sure. Before we get to the NFL, because we want to pick your brain about that, want to hear your thoughts on Ja Morant, the big return, Memphis Grizzlies star after 25-game suspension, comes back, 34 points, buzzer beater layup, a stunning finish against the Pelicans. Obviously it went well, but what are your thoughts on Ja Morant and his future in the NBA?
I thought that was really special. I think we have to give people space for redemption in life. We all make mistakes and poor decisions. I know I was a young person once who did not make the best decisions. There's consequences for things. And he did, his suspension, and he's back. And I think he's great for the NBA. I think he is a big brand and an exciting player. And I thought that was a very redemption forward moment for him to come out after being away from the game for as long as he was, to have not just, obviously the performance with the points, but sometimes in sports we get these moments that feel very poetic, and that's really what makes us fall in love with the game. And, I think it's cool for him. Obviously the Grizzlies need him back, but he's a young star, and the NBA needs their young stars to be out there. So I'm happy he's back. I'm glad he was able to have that performance. And I think we can all, including Ja, move forward from all of that. So I'm happy for him.
Yeah, we were on the same page here. We thought the same thing. It's great to see him out there lighting it up, and we agree the NBA needs that. But let's talk more about these bad decisions, Joy. Let's really dig into these. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Bad decisions?
Well,
Yeah.
you know,
From your
We need more
distant
time, guys. We need more time. Like, you guys have a show to do,
oh, we'll make
Host
time.
show for that.
We'll clear the schedule. Joy, the Chiefs, are they back in the Super Bowl this year? Are they getting it right now, or are they still a little wonky?
I don't know what the Chiefs. I don't know. The thing about it is I tend to, for better or worse, trust the history of a team and the history of its talent. So it's really hard. It's been hard for me to, without evidence, write off the Eagles. Like, now I'm getting to a point where I'm like, yeah, I don't know. We got to see how they look through the last 3 games. The Chiefs, similarly, obviously have been very up and down this year, but they still have the best quarterback in the league. They still have one of the best coaches of all time in Andy Reid. Travis Kelce is still an unbelievable talent. He's there. Their defense has been playing at a high level. So if you told me that the Chiefs were in the Super Bowl in February, I wouldn't be surprised because of those factors. And I think this year has been a very unique year when it comes to really a team being head and shoulders above the rest of the league for the entirety of the season. We don't have any team that's been that. So I tend to trust the talent. I do think that it's going to depend on these receivers. Like, the skill positions are an issue this year. We thought they were going to be an issue last year, but it turned out that it wasn't. And this year, I think it is biting them a little bit to not have a true number one or even just a volume receiver. I think Travis Kelce's been banged up all year. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they were in the Super Bowl, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we had one of the performances that we've seen that have been disappointing this year in the postseason. I can't write them off because they just have too much talent at the top.
What's the over-under on how many times we have to see Taylor Swift if the Chiefs make the Super Bowl?
They might just change the halftime show. It'll be a lot. You're gonna see some Taylor Swift.
Joy, a couple days ago, we put some teams on fraud alert as we head into the NFL postseason. 3 weeks left, 10 spots still open in the playoffs. Anyone you have on high alert for fraudulent NFL teams?
Oh, I got to be honest. I don't really trust anybody. I know the Niners to me are obviously at the top. Like, they're the best team in the NFL to me, but they're so top heavy. Like, if they have any injuries at all, I think it just falls apart. Like, that's what the Niners have always been. Like, if they have one injury and then everything falls apart. So as much as I trust them when they're healthy, anything goes wrong and it's a wrap. So I don't think anybody you can really, really, truly trust. Like, I can make a case for every single team. The only team that when healthy I can't make a case for is the Niners, because Brock Purdy's playing out of his mind, and they have so much talent, and they're so well coached, and they're so physical, and they have been demolishing really good teams all season. So they're the only ones that are close to trustworthy, but everyone else, to me, every other team has some fundamental flaw or has been inconsistent throughout the season. But even the way that they're playing right now, it still makes me nervous. Like, the Bills are playing great football right now. They still might not make the playoffs. Like, if they slip at all, their margin for error is so small. And the way that the AFC has been so crazy this year with these teams that don't have quarterbacks still in the mix, they could still not make the playoffs. I certainly don't want that. I want to see Josh Allen in the postseason. But yeah, there's just if I have to, like, if I gotta put my name on it, I feel uncomfortable. I can make cases for all of them. I can make cases against them, and I think it's one of those years where it's going to come down to absolutely to health, as it always does. But I think the defense is really the story this year.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, we've seen somewhat of an offensive suppression, and we're joined by Joy Taylor, host of Speak FS1 weekdays 1:30. You could catch her there. The offenses really have struggled this year. Do you think that's all due to quarterback injury, or is there something deeper going on?
No, I mean, there have been a lot of quarterback injuries, starting with the beginning of the season with Aaron Rodgers. It's been a down year for that for sure, which I think is why the MVP conversation is being so hotly debated, because we usually with the MVP, we don't even talk about it this much. It's just like, yeah, it's one of these two guys, and whoever wins out is going to get it. And we don't even really get into it. This year we have a segment about it almost every day, because there really hasn't been someone who's dominated from week one till now at the quarterback position, despite how they're playing right now. And I truly think that, with anything in any sport, you have these swings, right? Like, it used to be you could win with like regular talent at quarterback if you had an unbelievable defense, or you were able to run the ball better than everybody else. And now it's shifted so much, partly because we've realized how vital keeping quarterbacks healthy is. All the rules tend to lean towards the offense. They certainly protect the quarterback. We've seen a lot of, those roughing the quarterback calls this year. They're very frustrating. But I think the defenses have started to catch up to that swing to the offense. And this is one of those years where, yes, there's a lot of high-level quarterback injuries, but also there's been great defensive play from week one until now. Like, these defenses are playing at a really high level. I've been saying for months now, I'm way more interested to see who wins Defensive Player of the Year than who wins MVP, because to me, that person has truly impacted the game and impacted the winning of their team at a higher level than probably any other players that we've seen this year. Outside of a CMC or a Tyreek Hill or someone like that, and obviously the quarterbacks. I mean, look at somebody like TJ Watt.
Oh, yeah.
Someone like Myles Garrett. I mean, TJ Watt's like winning games for the Steelers. So, I think that the defenses have just really stepped their games up. They're really playing at a high level. They're the reason that a lot of these teams who have been struggling offensively this year have been able to not only win games, but adjust their style of play. And I mean, we're talking about how great the Niners are. The Niners are a defense-first team. We saw that through that 3-game losing streak. Everyone immediately blamed the defense. Like, oh, well, the defense isn't playing at a high level. In an offensive-first league with an offensive coach, why are we talking about the defense? But that's really how that team is built, is that defense sets the tone. The Cowboys, I mean, Bland, they're winning games for these teams, even with offenses that can function at a high level. So, to me, the defense has been the story of this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, it's true what you said about all of those teams, the Niners, the Cowboys with Micah Parsons. You can make the argument for him up front as well. But at least they have quarterbacks like with Myles Garrett and TJ Watt. I mean, the Browns have been Joe Flacco is their starting quarterback right now.
Right.
And Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky in Pittsburgh. So the fact that those are two teams still in the playoff conversation is astounding. Awesome stuff, Joy. As always, we appreciate your time. Thank you for cutting out a little bit of your morning for us.
Thank you, guys. Hope you have a great holiday.
Same to you. Yeah, there she goes. Joy Taylor, FS1. You can see her on Speak every single weekday.
You look like Doc Brown in here, trying to connect the wires to let Marty McFly travel back to the future.
Had a couple of technical difficulties during the interview. Everything was fine. Everything. I mean, dude, I can't tell you. I can't tell you how happy I was that Joy, she likes to talk and give me some time to get things reorganized over here.
What I really liked is you were trying to plug your computer back in. Instead of getting up off the chair, you just leaned over and stretched.
Dude, yeah, I'll kick. I'd rather sit on my chair and just kick a leg. I was almost fully sprawled trying to plug something
and
in.
You got a wingspan.
Yeah. I mean, it's all arms and legs.
Head to toe, we are buttoned up, man.
Yeah, there's no question about that. I'm glad you mentioned toes because at the Good Feet store, they've got these arch supports. Now, listen, do they support your toes? Not necessarily, but are your toes on your feet? Absolutely. Are they important with the foundation of the rest of your body? They certainly are. But one of the things that I was confused about is that I actually have an arch, not just one, but 4 in my feet. That was part of the initial consultation over at the Good Feet store that I learned. We all have 4 arches in our feet, and they need our support. They need the support of great orthotics that are fitted to your lifestyle. They're fitted to your profession, whatever it is that you do with your body on a daily basis. If you have any sort of lower joint pain, if you feel sluggish after a long day on your feet, if you wake up and you find yourself like the joints are a little creaky after a long day on your feet, go to the Good Feet store. It really saved my back. After a 6-year NFL career, I was struggling with a tremendous amount of back pain, and now I'm not. And the result was, or I should say, and the reason for it is the Good Feet store. So head over to goodfeet.com, schedule your free test walk. Today, they'll do the try before you buy with you. I highly recommend it. It worked for me. Hoping it works for you too. Good Feet store. Oh my gosh. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you.
We're,
It's a-
we're moving to the future.
oh my gosh. So Travis Dale, who is the show dad, there's no question about it. He can fix everything. He has all the tools and the toys. You know, if you need to borrow a piece of equipment, the first phone call is TD.
Or you know, you need
Yeah.
someone to like fix your car.
Yeah, I mean, he's done that for you. He tried to save the silver bullet. He actually
failed.
did.
I
Well,
failed.
for about 3 months. It was roadworthy.
Mm.
I think I actually may have dropped a taco in Fletch's radiator. That was a part of the problem. But
I don't know if anything that helped.
By the way, the 484 corrected me. Not Caroline on that movie. Coraline. Thank
yes,
you.
and
Thank
he's
you.
right. Yeah, it was a very creepy movie.
So we got a new toy, and I think this is going to lead to more laps. Personally,
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so we take a lap every time there's a dad joke that doesn't land. Travis has the reason why I bring up all of this about Travis is because he's brought in a new toy. It's a mixing board that you're able to connect multiple microphones to and run sound effects and sound off of.
Yeah, well, we decided we needed obviously more mics and headphones in here. Not enough. I mean, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
Yeah. So clearly we need 9. And then we can play things like this.
Do you know who I am?
No, I can't say that I do.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Really?
Yeah.
People know me.
I'm very happy for
Is
you.
that preloaded?
I'm very important.
I had loaded this one at some point. I loaded this one.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
I know it was you. I didn't assume
yeah.
it came with the piece of
Oh.
equipment.
Well,
But how, like, do you have other sound effects just already loaded onto the board?
I have some, but they're mostly music like this. Like when I was doing a weekend show, and this was my band.
why is it all Anchorman?
This was my intro. This is actually from Superbad.
This is fantastic. And please play the next track. What do we get? What else do we have?
Wait, there is a great story behind that song. So Michael Cera, the intro for Superbad is just the outline of Michael Cera
yeah.
dancing with Jonah Hill and stuff. But they wanted it to be able to run for hours because that was like one of the opening of Blu-ray movies, and the title screen could last for like 2.5 hours if you
yeah.
just left it on. So Michael Cera literally for 2.5 hours stood in front of a green screen and danced.
No,
They just left the cameras rolling.
Wow.
it's actually awesome.
I don't know what this is. On the daily theme. Oh yeah, lame. Oh, that's a good one. 311, everybody. This is I use this for a UFO show.
How many shows did you try to get off the ground?
Thousands.
Where's Gaga for Galaga? Come on.
It's not loaded in here. I'll probably get canceled for that, to be quite honest. Yeah.
There was a lot of inappropriate sexual remarks made during the intro to that show, and I don't want to rehash the
Yeah.
past.
Thank you.
This is going to be a problem.
It's fine.
Oh,
It's
this
fine.
is fantastic. Oh, this is so good. I'm so happy you brought that in. Just a rusty wheel.
Crickets.
Oh, that's
Crickets.
what it
It
is.
doesn't
Okay.
sound like a rusty wheel.
It sounds like
Okay, good.
like the bad wheel on the wagon.
Right,
Like when
right.
you're going around the when you're going.
We're already out of time?
Oh, dude,
We're
oh,
over out of time.
damn it. All right. Well, listen, you're not going to be
I have to take a lap already?
just in principle. There's no bad wheels on my Toyota though. How about that? We're talking about a rusty wagon wheel on the 4Runner outside in the parking lot. I haven't had any issues with this sucker. It's been amazing for me and for my family. Over at your San Diego County Toyota dealers, they're starting their 2024 inventory. You should start your search if you're looking for a new car, truck, or SUV over at Toyota.com. There you can check out all the latest offers, compare models, search inventory, find the Toyota that's just right for you. Again, that starts at Toyota.com. But at your San Diego County Toyota dealers, they've got a wide variety of cars and trucks and SUVs available on the lots currently. But it's the salespeople that really make the experience enjoyable. Yeah, if you're shopping cars, you know you got to go meet and talk to people. And sometimes that's a painful process. Not at a San Diego County Toyota dealer. When I went and bought the 4Runner, it wasn't pushy. It wasn't salesy. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. You've all had those moments where you're like, I just feel dirty after this exchange. It's just annoying. There was none of that. I walked onto the lot. I was met with happiness and respect. And then I was given time to make the decision on my own. And our decision was to buy a 4Runner for the family, went home, drove it home 30 minutes later, and we've been thrilled with it ever since. In fact, we're starting the car search for our next vehicle. It's going to be over at our San Diego County Toyota dealers. So if you're, again, looking for a car, truck, SUV, you should start your search at toyota.com or head down to your San Diego County Toyota dealer today.
This update is presented by Macy's Backstage. It's hour 3 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Aztecs basketball cruise to a 91-57 win over St. Catherine yesterday. They got Stanford coming to town tomorrow night. It's the third time they'll play a Pac-12 team so far this season. College football today, National Signing Day. Get on over to @AztecFB if you want to see a full list of everybody who is signed to the San Diego State football program so far. In the NFL, Week 16 gets going tomorrow night with just 3 weeks left. 10 of the 14 playoff spots still wide open. And in the NBA, Grizzlies beat the Pelicans last night on Ja Morant's return. Ja Morant hits a game winner to win 115-113 for the Grizzlies. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? How about the perfect holiday gifts, just $25 and under, like matching family PJs, fragrance sets, toys, and more? Find the latest trends, new arrivals, and great prices at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
Yeah! Woo! Happy Wednesday to those who celebrate. Happy hump day to all. That's right. It's Big Rich, TD, and Fletch here on a Wednesday morning, and we've got a new toy in studio. Travis Dale has brought in what's called a mixer. He can plug in multiple headphones, multiple microphones. He can play sound. We can even make we realized we could even make phone calls through this new board that he brought in.
We can.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can you mix beats live on air?
No, that doesn't do
It
that.
has a touchpad, doesn't it?
Yeah, but they're just for like, preloaded or pre-recorded sound. I guess I could add stuff over the top of it.
Oh wow. So you can
I
play
think you
multiple
absolutely
things.
can mix beats live on air.
Yeah, dude, you could preload percussion instruments and we could just so if you just keep tapping that one button, does it just repeat everything it does?
Yeah.
Oh wow. This is gonna be the best.
We're
Okay.
golden.
Yeah. We got big plans for 2024, folks. Big plans. Woo! Yeah. We're spending a lot of our own dough. We you know what? There's times in your life where you say, yeah, hey, boss man or boss lady, we need X, Y, or Z for the break room. Or hey, the photo
Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its. The photocopier's on the fritz. We need new toner. Like, there's things that you're not going to go out of the way and you're going to hassle people for. And there are certain things that you will. This is one of those things that we didn't even ask for because we knew the answer was going to be no.
Right.
And TD just took it on his own volition.
Sometimes you have to. By the way, update on the Cheez-Its. This is a mind-blowing stat. We had the Cheez-It dispenser there for 3 weeks. And then I heard the numbers on the cost of the amount of Cheez-Its we went through in 3 weeks. You want to take a guess?
Ooh, Cheez-Its. Okay, I'm assuming for 16 ounces, so a pound of Cheez-It, I'm thinking we're talking like $5. I've seen some of the people who work here. We got a couple of people who aren't exactly shoving the buffet away. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We got some real heifers running around.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to name names.
Right.
You know who you are. Got a couple of people who maybe one too many licks of the lollipop or the ice cream cone. And listen, you know what? For a lot of the time I've worked here, I was one of them.
I'm assuming that most people, when they go and see the Cheez-It dispenser empty, blames it on the three of us.
Oh, there's
yeah.
We're getting blamed for a lot of things around here. I can tell you that from personal interactions with people.
I've also noticed that they have cups there so you can fill up a cup with Cheez-Its. However, pretty easy as you're walking by, just right in your hand.
So figure, okay, 16 ounces, $5. I'm assuming on a weekly basis, we're probably emptying that thing. I would say we're probably going through a full container and a half per day. Okay. So with my
pretty good so far.
With my logic and my math, I'm going to say that's about 10 boxes at $5 a piece per day.
Okay.
So by week's end, I'm going to say we're talking about 50 boxes at $5 a piece. I'm going to say we've got ourselves like somewhere to the tune of a $250 per week Cheez-It problem around here. So $1,000 a month.
Okay.
$1,000 a month.
Well, you're a little light. In 3 weeks, it was $1,100.
No way!
Now, is that Cheez-Its and trail mix?
I don't know the answer. I just heard Cheez-Its, but probably. Who's eating the trail mix?
I love the trail mix.
No.
You're a real
Well,
sicko.
Yeah, I mean, the trail mix is good because it has M&Ms and peanut M&Ms in it, but you have to pick out all the peanuts and the almonds to get to them.
That's
Well,
exactly.
no, you just
what
pick
I
out
do,
the
yeah.
almonds.
Yeah, you just-
There's nothing wrong with peanuts.
oh no, there's tons wrong with them.
But I do
I
like
also
the fact.
love raisins. Someone threw a sticky note on there that said raisins suck. And I'm like, first of all, it's free trail mix.
Sorry about
Stop
that.
complaining. I'll slap
Sorry.
you in the face.
Sorry about that.
Secondly, raisins are awesome.
Yeah, Travis also brought in Post-it notes, and so he's been going ham.
I did put
Um,
one on the there's like the state mandated posters you have to put up, and there's someone who shows you how to give the Heimlich maneuver via illustrations. It's Frank the Tank. I mean, that's definitely Will Ferrell from what's the movie?
Old school.
Old School,
Thank
yeah,
you. I
yeah.
almost said Step Brothers, and I knew that was not right. That's definitely Frank the Tank, which I did put a post-it note on that and wrote Frank the Tank, and no one cared.
Yeah, you know what? I just mentioned going ham. Do you have any idea why we eat ham like around the holidays?
I do not know.
I mean, I don't know the answer either, but I went and I looked it up, and I mean, this goes all the way back to like pagan Germanic tribe rituals
Wait, what?
where they ate ham during their Yuletide celebrations, which honor the wild hunt and pray for fertility.
Makes
So,
sense.
well,
Well, piggies are a sacred animal.
I guess so. I
Wow.
mean, the Norsemen
Depends on where you're at.
apparently were hunting down like wild boars with spears.
Mm.
And so like around the time when Stonehenge was being put together, they were celebrating eating ham hocks, and that's the reason why we throw a spiralized honey baked in the oven when guests are coming over.
Which I'm totally fine with.
That's interesting.
I like the honey baked cold, right out of the fridge.
Dude, you cannot
Oh
bother me
my-
with a great time.
I got curious when you were talking about it if there was ever giant pigs.
Yeah.
That's what immediately went to your head.
Like
Yeah.
prehistoric giant pigs?
Prehistoric giant pigs stood 6 feet tall at the shoulder.
Dude, can you imagine what the bacon slices look like?
Golly.
I mean,
I want some prehistoric bacon.
the back fat on that prehistoric pig.
okay.
Dino Hyas.
If oh,
Wow.
if you've never done it before,
Like you made up that name right now.
It's Google, bro.
If you-
Extinct group of pig-like but not super closely related to modern pig mammals that ate both meat and plants, standing at about 6 feet tall at the shoulder. It was among the largest of its kind.
Jesus. Did you know that pigs, they go feral immediately
Yeah.
upon being reintroduced to the wild?
Yeah.
So a domesticated pig, like the pig, like Babe from the movie.
The cute ones.
Yeah, the cute ones.
Yeah,
They're pink in hue.
Yeah.
They've got the little snorter. They don't have the long tusks or anything. Okay, they are just months away from growing hair,
Right.
and all you have to do is they don't even know why this happens. But if a fence breaks on the farm and all your pigs, say you got 10 of them, run out, 10 for 10 will grow the long brown hair. They'll start rutting. They'll have the long tusks. They'll destroy land.
Almost makes you think what would happen to us.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's like one of those US Weekly articles, like celebs, they're just like us. Pigs,
Yeah.
just like us.
You let me
yeah.
out. Things can get weird.
He's
real
growing
quick.
hair. He's going feral.
I'll root around. I'll dig up some
Do
stuff with my
whatever necessary.
face. Yeah, no
Yeah,
problem.
but 6 foot to the shoulder on the prehistoric pigs, not
Dude,
quite there, Fletch.
those animals still exist. I'm confident of it. If you ever gone to Costco and you bought their bacon, dude, those strips are, for whatever reason, like a mile longer than the ones you get at normal grocery stores.
Right.
Quick tip. Also, they give you an unnecessary amount of bacon. You'll get 3-pound packs.
No such thing.
So what I do,
Unnecessary.
I freeze them.
Oh, genius.
Yeah, dude. Like
Genius.
I'll peel off like a whole half a slab, and then I've put it in the freezer, dude.
I got
love
Costco
Costco
bacon
so
in my
much.
freezer
Come
right
on.
now.
Come on.
Dude,
I'm going to Costco later today.
I love
Might get some
bacon?
more.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about the NFL Super Bowl odds earlier in the show today.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anything wrong on that list to you guys? Because I see one thing, and it's a team that's currently not even in playoff position who's in the top 6. That'd be the Buffalo Bills.
The Bills. Yeah.
But they're at plus 1,000. And I think
But you're telling me that the Bills are the 6th most likely team in the NFL to win the Super Bowl right now?
Those Bills are so hot right now.
well, you got to look at it in two different ways. So are they potentially? Yeah, maybe.
7th most likely team.
But if you also think about what the purpose of having the Bills on this list is, it's to make the most possible money for Vegas. So they give you this tasty little proposition where the Bills are actually tied for 6th place with the Cowboys. And I kind of give them equal chance to be in the Super Bowl. I don't know if I would necessarily legislate them as 6th place ahead of the Lions. I think I like the Lions better than both of those teams. But I bet you the value putting how would I
So the
describe
Bills
this?
finish up with the Chargers, Patriots, Dolphins. So I see 2 wins there easily, and then one really good game to finish their season. That really good game to finish their season on January 7th might be to decide whether or not Buffalo makes it to the postseason.
It would be
Wow.
would be too long of odds though to have the Bills any lower. Because if you give me that kind of value, like if you put, for example, the Lions are in 7th place on this list,
Right.
at plus 2,000.
Below the
That-
Bills.
Yeah, below the Bills.
You give me 2,000 on the Bills, I'm taking that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, because on the outside chance, I mean, so for anybody who's unfamiliar with what that terminology means, that means it's a 20-1 bet. I put down $100. I can win $2,000 with my $100 if the Detroit Lions, because they're in 7th place on this list, make it to the Super Bowl and win. That's what you would get, 20-1 odds. If you gave me 21 odds on either the Dallas Cowboys or the Bills at this point, I'm signing up, because that's easy money, or I shouldn't say easy money, but it's a good enough a value bet. So they had to goose their standing in actual power rankings. I don't necessarily think that the Bills belong behind the Cowboys. I think they're hotter. So I think I trust them more than the boys.
Okay, you guys want to do this? Then let's give a tight-knit group of who you think can win a Super Bowl right now in Week 16 as it gets started tomorrow night. Is there a group that you think have separated from the rest, and it's your tight-knit group that can actually win a Super Bowl?
Chiefs and Niners are my exclusive group. Those are the only 2 teams that I really feel like throwing in a major way and saying, like, if I had to put, whatever, my life on the line, like if you were going to make it as extreme as possible and I had to pick a select group that I thought amongst this group, these are the only 2 teams that I could see winning the Super Bowl, it would be Chiefs and Niners for me.
I agree. I mean, I just don't feel like the Ravens or the Dolphins, who are in this top 4 here, have a comfort level to me. It's just you feel like something could go wrong at any moment. And both of these teams, both the Ravens and the Dolphins, I know they can score points. I mean, the Dolphins can score in bunches, but you feel like they get behind and all of a sudden the game plan changes and everything goes crazy. And it doesn't feel comfortable with either of them. I got to go with you, Rich. Chiefs and Niners are easily the top. And the Chiefs have questions too. But I can't bet against them.
So what I'm hearing is you both think the Niners are going to win the Super Bowl. Sweet.
I actually don't
Eagles,
know
Cowboys?
about that.
Nothing there for you guys? Eagles, Cowboys?
I don't trust the Eagles. The Eagles on this 3-game slide right now. You just saw them against the Seahawks, for crying out loud. They were favored in that game. They lose in Seattle. I'm not saying they're reeling. I'm not saying their season is over. Farthest thing from it. I think they could still win their division. But the Eagles, I just don't trust them right now. The Bills, in terms of momentum, they actually have more trust in my mind than the Eagles do. So it's an interesting spot. I know where your head's at. Is it Niners and nobody else on your list?
No, not at all, actually. I think that there are teams that can get hot here, and I think there's really scary matchups for the Niners coming up. Like the Ravens game this week, I see the Ravens defense as a defense that likes to get people injured.
Would you circle any other teams alongside the Niners, though, as definitely could win a Super Bowl right now?
It's weird to say, but the Dolphins, I really do have them.
Niners and Dolphins.
Because I do think that the Dolphins can go on a run where they're just scoring 40-plus points a game.
See, what's interesting about that is the Dolphins stick out like a sore thumb at plus 800 to me. Like, I feel like they could be tied very easily with the Cowboys and Bills at plus 1,000. But I guess a lot of people feel like you do. Like, the Dolphins are the type of team that can make a deep run here.
Like, I don't have a ton of faith in them as they're currently constructed and everything we've seen from them so far this season, but I know that teams can get hot at the right time. And if you're telling me it's plus 800 on the Dolphins, like $100 to win $800, like, that doesn't seem like a terrible bet to me.
Or $1 to win $8.
Or $1 to win $8. Damn it, TD, you are always so right.
I'm just saying.
It's just math.
Well, in the NBA, the Boo Birds were out in New Orleans yesterday, but Ja Morant finished off a fantastic 34-point season debut with a spinning dribble in the lane, set up a game-winning floater as time expired in the Memphis Grizzlies' 115-113 victory over the Pelicans. Elsewhere in the NBA, the Bucks beat the Spurs 132-119, Warriors over the Celtics 132-126, Trailblazers down the Suns 109-104. In college hoops, the Aztecs just barely snuck by St. Catharines with a 91-57 victory. Jaden Ledee puts up 17. Reese Waters had a 15-point day. Jay Powell, 10 points. In fact, 13 different Aztecs putting points up on the board. Some football news on his Let's Go podcast. Tom Brady stated who his definite favorite is for MVP this year in the NFL. Fletch, did you hear this one?
No. Tom Brady needs to go away.
Definite favorite for MVP from a guy who knows nothing, Tom Brady. Picks Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey.
So what do you think of him now?
Yeah.
It's hard to disagree, but Tom Brady does need to go away.
Wow.
It's like Tom Brady, he's still trying to steal the limelight. Just go off into retirement, dude. You got your money. Just enjoy the
You're
time.
gonna
What are you
be
talking
hearing
about?
a lot more.
Yeah, he signed
know.
this massive deal.
He's going to be on Fox for like 10
So he
years.
can't just wait for that?
Well, look, everybody's got a podcast now. I mean, I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure Patty Ornberger is going to start her own podcast here pretty soon.
Ooh, can she let loose some secrets?
Oh my gosh, yeah. That would be actually the worst thing for me. So I'm going to strongly encourage my mom to stay away from a microphone at all costs. But yeah, look, I think Christian McCaffrey and Tyreek Hill arguably have the most value at any skill position in the league. But let's be very frank. Like Tyreek Hill missed last game and they looked the same.
They were awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
But if Christian McCaffrey's gone, Niners are a different team. Colin went on this rant yesterday, and I really liked everything he said. He said, if it's not this season, when are you ever going to give it to a non-quarterback? Because you think about all the quarterbacks that have gotten hurt and have missed time this year. Patrick Mahomes has had a down year, not necessarily due to him, but due to the pieces around him. Like, if there is a time to give it to a non-quarterback, when you have these two outstanding years from Tyreek Hill and Christian McCaffrey, this is the best excuse the voters will have.
I know what he's saying, but when you're talking about these specific teams, like if Tua goes down, it is more detrimental to the Miami Dolphins than it is if Tyreek goes down. If Brock Purdy goes down, frankly, it's more detrimental to the San Francisco 49ers than it is if Christian McCaffrey goes down. I fully believe that. I just think that it is hard to put a value on quarterback play in any sport, not just talking about football specifically, but across all sports, because there's no position on the football field that you are responsible, or I should say, no position in sport that you're responsible for more. So it's always going to be a quarterback. It's always going to be a quarterback. Even this year, a down year for quarterbacks. I mean, if you look at some of the best teams, I mean, imagine what the Niners would look like last year if Brock Purdy wasn't Brock Purdy. Their season would have been toast.
Completely over. I mean,
You go to a
you're
third
so
stringer?
right. So if the Niners win this weekend over
So
the
right, I'm
Ravens,
back to Brock Purdy.
if the Niners win this weekend against the Ravens, I think most people around the league would say it's locked up that Brock Purdy's going to win it, because right now it's Brock Purdy and Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
But I just do feel like this is a year you could give it to a position player and not be looked at as crazy.
I do agree.
Do you guys want a little update on National Signing Day?
Yeah, let's hear it.
So San Diego State has been busy this morning. Coach Sean Lewis waking up at 4 a.m. to put out his first tweet, which was, "Good morning, beautiful people. Today is going to be a special day filled with unbelievable memories. Let's create them together. Now we go. #AztecFast." So it started off with Danny O'Neal, who, by the way, rocks some awesome sunglasses, much like yours truly. Then it went to offensive line with
He was,
big.
he was wearing
Lord.
the douchers?
Oh, he was wearing the doucher
What's
9,000.
going on?
Yes.
Well,
Oh,
Oh,
there he
yeah.
is.
Yeah. So everyone has a cool little video that they're doing. But if you want to check it out, at Aztec FB on Twitter, there's like 20 of these little videos going with people who have signed officially to the Mason.
Yeah, we were talking about it. I mean, look, it's obviously budding, it's growing here at San Diego State, but all across the country, like the big conversation is around how much money these athletes can make during their college football career. I mean, Matt Rule, who's the new head coach this past season of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, said at the major Power 5 level, a starting quarterback, going rate for a starting quarterback is $1 million to $1.5 million to $2 million. So if you're a quarterback that's any good in college football and you're playing at a top 50 school at any of these Power 5 programs and you enter the transfer portal, you're guaranteeing yourself a payday. I mean, that's the reason why you're seeing this all over college football.
Right.
How many transfer quarterbacks are there?
That's why
Kyle
no one's
McCord,
playing in the bowl games. It's because
Yeah.
all the quarterbacks are leaving.
all of them.
Have we locked in on Aztec Fast? Is that like
That's Sean Lewis's thing.
right? But I mean, he's kind of missing, and I'm just going to throw it out here. the ancient Aztecs rituals, right? Of like beheading.
Yeah.
So Aztecs, heads will roll.
Wow. Yeah.
So you've already brought up his dead dog to his face.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to like change his life motto.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're just trying to create enemies everywhere you go.
Also, like incurring the religious practices of human sacrifice at the altars of the gods.
What, too soon?
You are a sick man.
Too soon?
Sick puppy. Real sick puppy.
I don't know if he was sick. He just got old, I think.
Hashtag cancel TD.
just saying.
Yeah, who knows? Poor champ. We miss you. We miss you.
Yeah. I'm kidding, coach. I'm kidding.
If you want the sad trombone, now would probably be a good
Oh
time.
wow! I gotta get back to that page. Oh god, I don't even know where it is.
So tough.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, he's got a new
Go
toy.
prepared.
We're going to be using that a lot. Okay, coming up next, we got to get to red pill, blue pill. We do it every Wednesday. We forgot to do it earlier. We were so busy talking about other important things.
The new phone
Trust
number.
us. Yeah, oh, that's-
877-767-4760.
Yeah, which by the way, we need to use coming up next as well for Holiday Bowl tickets. We haven't given away those. We gave away a pair of Aztecs basketball tickets, but we got Holiday Bowl tickets coming up as well on the show. So be listening for that opportunity coming up very shortly. Last night, I went bonkers on the Underdog Fantasy app. I had a bunch of different pick'em entries going, and I hit on most of them. It's been really good over the past 2 days. So Monday night with Monday Night Football and some late night Lakers NBA action. Last night with the Grizzlies going and John Moran and Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. I mean, I had entries all over the place. And the holiday season's here. And our friends over at Underdog Fantasy are running 12 days of social promos. It started last week. It's going all the way through until the new year. If you haven't heard of Underdog Fantasy yet, it's the easiest place to play fantasy basketball every night of the season. Here's what you do with the pick'em entries. Select between 2 and 5 players, whether they go higher or lower on their stats. And if your picks hit, you win big. So go to underdogfantasy.com or download their easy-to-use app. Sign up with promo code XTRA. Underdog will double your first deposit of $10 or more, up to $100. And again, in the spirit of the holidays, Underdog is doing daily promos over the site formerly known as Twitter, x.com. Follow at Underdog Fantasy and be on the lookout for ways to win a Nintendo Switch, a PS5, and more. Must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Coming up next, red pill, blue pill, and we play for keeps.
This update is presented by Macy's Backstage. And guys, something alarming just came across Twitter.
Yeah.
Ryan Lindley
Yeah.
just put out a tweet with the GIF of Bane from Batman and said, "You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it." And that's all it is.
You merely adopted the dark. I was born in
So
it.
the former offensive coordinator, still on the staff with San Diego State football, put out the
He's been
Bane.
tweeting all morning. He just put out a Bane one, and I don't know why. It
Oh,
has
I
me on
like
high
it.
alert.
Wow.
Is something
Weird.
happening at the Mesa?
Maybe.
Well, it is National Signing Day, so
Yeah.
maybe they just landed a Batman villain. Is
I
that
was
possible?
wondering what was going to break first. Your spirit or your body.
Anyways, it is National Signing Day, so that's all happening down at San Diego State. And Ryan Lindley's putting out cryptic tweets, and I like it. Like 24 players so far
Let's
have
call him.
signed. Rich can text him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
yesterday-
Let's just blind call.
Aztecs
though.
basketball won 91-57 over St. Catherine. They got Stanford tomorrow. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? How about perfect holiday gifts just like $25 and under, like matching family PJs, fragrance sets, toys, and more? Find the latest trends, new arrivals, and great prices at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
Big Racine and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760, the 44th annual DirecTV Holiday Bowl, a matchup between Louisville and USC happening a week from today, December 27th, 5 p.m. The broadcast will be on Fox and San Diego Sports 760 from Petco Park in downtown San Diego. We got tickets. We got a pair of tickets we got to give away here in the next 21 minutes.
Yeah.
So I feel like it may be before that. So write down this number, 877-767-4760.
Yeah, that's right. You heard it right. 877-767-4760. So
Easy.
simple.
It's easy.
I'm so glad we changed it. The old number made no sense. This number is great.
Well, the old number didn't make any sense anymore.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah, neither does this one.
yes, it does.
4760.
Okay, the last
I
four
want you
numbers.
to take this attitude and turn it upside down.
The new number sucks. It's
No, it
never
doesn't.
not going to suck.
We should give it like out in the most difficult fashion. Like dial 87 7 767 4 760.
Or do it like since it's 10 numbers, like do it so it's we say $8,767,000,000.
It was that lawyer group. They had a jingle. It was like dial 1-800,000. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, but it works. if
Right?
Right, you
dial
guys are
it.
confusing people. It's 877, 767, 400,760.
What?
No.
I don't think
4,760.
4,000. You don't think 100 in there? We are definitely confusing people.
Well, listen, if you want to win holiday bowl tickets, you better figure that one out, buddy. Okay?
Text the word team.
All right, we're gonna give away the holiday bowl tickets really soon, but we got to do this. We haven't done it all day long, and we promise our listeners every Wednesday we must do red pill, blue pill. People are clamoring for this. We are stuck to make really tough choices, right? You only can take one, and you got to take one, and that's a lasting choice. That's forever now. You guys ready to play? Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Red pill, blue pill. Okay, first one. Red pill, the Bills make the playoffs. Blue pill, the Browns make the playoffs.
It's going to be Bills all day long because I would rather see Josh Allen playing football and doing the majestic things that he does rather than seeing Joe Flacco, who admittedly is a lot of fun, but he owns.
Yeah, I don't know where to go with this one. It feels like the Bills make more sense, which that makes me want to take the blue pill. Browns. I want Browns in the playoffs.
I'm taking the red pill, and here's why. Because it's kind of open-ended. My interpretation is, who would I rather see in the postseason? 100% the Buffalo Bills. They've got, like, an awesome quarterback. Josh Allen's incredible.
Right.
They've got an awesome star on the edge, Stephon Diggs. They've
Not
got
to mention, if the Bills are in, you're guaranteed a Stephon Diggs meltdown when they lose.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like,
that's true.
I love every. I
I'd
mean,
be taking the pill.
no offense to Joe Flacco or the Browns in general, but the Browns have been as terrible of a watch as you could enjoy all season long. Let's move on to this.
Okay.
Red pill. And again, this is for the rest of your life.
That's all you get.
This is all you get. Now, as a side dish, red pill, homemade mac and cheese. Blue pill, homemade scalloped potatoes. Okay, for me, this is the simplest decision I've ever made in my life. I have no problem
it's
making
not.
this. I have no problem making this decision. Mac and cheese, red pill, all day long. You could take scalloped potatoes and honestly fire them into the center of the moon.
Wow.
I don't care about
Wow.
scalloped potatoes
I
at all.
am opposite land. Give me the scallop potatoes.
No
Blue
kidding.
pill forever.
No,
Yeah,
kidding.
come on. This is homemade mac and cheese. I can still get the crab box when I need it.
That's a
I
great
can
point.
still go to that. The scallop
No, that's a
potatoes.
cop out.
Come on.
It's mac and cheese in general. You still have to make Kraft mac and cheese at home, so it's homemade.
Oh, wow.
What if I make it in the office?
No, it doesn't matter.
It's office.
You,
today.
it's,
opposite.
you get mac and cheese or you don't get mac and cheese. So you just chose to never have mac and cheese ever again, which is sacrilege.
Have you had scallop? Have you had homemade scallop
I
potatoes?
love scalloped potatoes.
so
This is,
good,
I don't
man.
know how you two were able to do this one so easily. This is maybe the toughest choice I've ever been presented with in
Bring
my
in
entire
scallop
life.
potatoes on Friday.
I'm not saying I don't like them, but I'm saying it compared to macaroni and cheese, they're not even on the same
But
planet.
here's the thing, both of these things are so versatile. You can do so many different things with both of these.
Tacos.
You can do scalloped potato tacos. You
I
can do
know.
mac and cheese tacos.
I know.
You put hot Cheetos in both of them and upgrade them a little bit.
You guys better stop talking. I'm gonna fired up over here to be perfectly honest.
I've
Have you
had
ever
mac
made
and
your
cheese.
mac and cheese and
Hands
then
are
and
sweating.
instead of putting in the oven, you put it on the smoker?
So good. Smoked mac and cheese is amazing. See, I've had mac and cheese more in my life. I've had scalloped potatoes less, but that doesn't mean I like scalloped potatoes any less. I think I'm going scalloped potatoes.
Wow.
Blue pill.
Wow. In a stunning.
And I don't feel good about it.
stunning change of event.
Okay, 70470. I mean, talk me off the ledge, maybe. I say it's mac and cheese, and it's a mile distance between these two. But okay, we got two scalloped potatoes. Nothing mac-
I'm going back. Mac and cheese.
You're on my side.
Because
Red
just
pill.
because you can't have scalloped potatoes doesn't mean you can't have a baked potato. Or you can't have French fries. Like you can still have variations of potatoes. You can still have potato chips.
Right,
That-
you thought it correct.
That white sauce over those thinly sliced potatoes and then baked. You get that
Oh, the
crispy
crust.
top.
The crust is good. All right.
Those corner pieces.
We have
Okay. Worst Christmas present. Blue pill, tie. Red pill, socks.
blue pill. This is easy. I love socks. I get socks every Christmas from my mother-in-law, and
Okay, hold on.
I promise you, I count on
Okay,
them. Like, I don't buy socks.
time
I
out.
wait for
Time,
Christmas.
time,
The
time.
socks I'm wearing right
Time.
now have holes in them.
Making this an audible. Worst Christmas present. Red pill dress socks. blue pill tie.
Oh, that's a great
Yeah,
change.
dress socks or tie.
That's a great change because I was agreeing full-heartedly with Fletch and dress shop. That changes everything.
Yeah, because, I mean, the dress socks are worse than tie.
When's the last time you actually wore a tie?
I
It's
don't
been a
know.
while.
Yeah,
When's the last time you wore dress socks?
That's
all
also
right.
true.
Yeah. Okay, you know
Yeah,
what?
because
Yeah.
if you wear regular socks with your dress shoes, those are great.
All right, blue pill tie is a worse present. I agree. Yeah, blue pill tie.
I'm still gonna go socks on them.
Wow.
Yeah, dress socks. I'm not.
No, dress socks are versatile now. It's a new age, man. You can get ones that have little beers on them. I have those. You can have ones that have 49ers on them. I have those.
Get a tie with that too.
Yeah, you can get all of those things for free.
And I
You guys
use-
know for my
hold
wedding,
on.
I wore 49ers dress socks.
Of course you did.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I do know that. But check this out. At a wedding, right? You're at the reception. You're partying. Do you take your socks off and tie them around your head like Rambo? No. It's your tie.
Okay, speaking of Christmas parties around offices across the country right now, red pill, if you'd have to have one of these happen for the rest of your life, again, red pill, no Christmas music ever again. Blue pill, only Christmas music for the rest of your life. Every time you turn on the
No matter what, I have to listen to Christmas music.
if you're listening to
Red
music, it's
pill,
Christmas
see
music.
your Christmas music. You
Oh.
suck anyways.
What?
Yeah,
I
Christmas
love
music is
Christmas
proof.
music. This is very difficult for me because I do love me some Christmas music.
Well, we know.
but
We've got it in your truck, and James Taylor's just blasting all the time for some
Fine.
reason.
right now it's Michael Bublé.
Got a problem? Very good. Michael Christmas. I'll tell you what.
Ah,
I may have to go. I may have to go. Well, no, I'm gonna go blue pill. Only Christmas music. Because the truth is, I mean, the only time I really listen to a lot of music is during Christmas.
wow.
I like music. I don't
Think about everyone you're saying goodbye to right
I'd
now.
have to take them.
Everybody who's never made a Christmas song.
Dude,
You're
Mariah
just saying,
Carey,
You never.
peace out.
Oh,
Mariah Carey. If I can't hear "All I
That's
Want for
true.
Christmas
That
Is
is
You"
true.
ever again,
Yeah, but now you can never hear another Mariah
I
Carey.
will sob myself asleep.
You could never hear. With arms wide open.
That is true. Holy smokes.
Think about all the people you're
You know
saying goodbye
Creed?
to. You are really canceling out a lot of
No,
Creed Christmas.
I can't. My God!
Here comes Santa Claus. He's coming down your chimney.
Under the starlight, will you get the socks or will you get the tie?
My stocking 6 feet under the edge. You guys get
Yeah.
lightheaded when you sing Creed?
Yeah, you gotta do a lot of pressure,
You
a
gotta
lot of
sell
force.
out.
I
You
think
gotta
I'd take the
sell out.
red pill. I'd have to say bye to Christmas music, which is very sad. It's
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
Yeah, peace out, Ozzy Osbourne, Rich. You can't
That's
ever
a
listen to
good
him
point.
ever again.
All right, fine. Yeah, you're right. No, I'll go red pill with you guys. Yeah, get rid of Christmas music. I hate it.
I
I don't.
hate it. Yeah, I don't like it. I
I
don't like
just
the
hate
taste of this.
Christmas.
I don't like the taste of
Sucks.
this.
All
Should we
right,
have a potluck on Friday?
we should do that.
Yeah.
We should all bring in something.
Are you guys going to the iHeart Christmas party? The holiday party?
I don't remember when that is.
January.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
that makes sense.
halfway through January.
It's a booze cruise.
Oh wow! Oh yeah, that's right. I did get that email. Yeah, I might go to that. All right, check this out. That's red pill, blue pill. We do it every Wednesday. Do we not
Wow.
ever really know what we're doing?
No, because I was scrolled up to the 7:30 where that was supposed to be, so I almost started to say, "You guys know how much I love my truck."
Well, I'm glad you mentioned it because I really love my 4Runner. Holy smokes, do I! The Toyota 4Runner has really served our family well. You've heard me talk about it a bunch. I wasn't a Toyota guy, and then I got turned on to the brand because I needed a reliable automobile. I was breaking down all the time in the car I used to own. I don't want to mention the make and model. It just stunk. It was undependable, unreliable. Every single time I turned the key, I didn't know if this thing was going to start or not. And it had transmission issues since the first time I rolled it off the lot. With the 4Runner, I haven't had any problems. With Toyota, there have been zero issues. I put gas and oil in this car, and it runs like a top. And I hear that from everyone. Tony Congi was telling me about his Tundra. He was like, that thing's got 200,000 miles on it, and it's still running like the first day he got it. Ben Fletcher over here, he's got the Tacoma. That thing's incredible. I mean, everybody I meet now who has a Toyota has nothing but rave reviews about it. So if you're shopping for for a car, SUV, truck, San Diego County Toyota Dealers is where you should start your search. They've got incredible lineup available to check out on Toyota.com. You can see all the latest offers, compare models, search inventory, find the Toyota that's right for you. Toyota.com again at your San Diego County Toyota dealers. They also have the Beyond Zero lineup that supports a greener planet with a wide range of electrified vehicles, including hybrids, plug-in hybrids, fully electric vehicles. Easy for you to find one that suits your lifestyle, all while making a positive impact. That's Toyota for you. Head on down to your San Diego County Toyota dealers today. Coming up next, it's the bottom of the barrel. Just wait to hear the stories we've got at the bottom of the barrel today.
Turn it up.
Aim her at Mike.
Is that cut out of this? Come on. Paper, cheese, and flesh. San Diego 4760, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Mike. We didn't give away the.
Oh, give away.
Okay.
Okay, for the app listeners.
Yeah.
Okay. In exactly 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So at 8:57:10. That's what you need to call in.
And that number to call is 877-767-4760. No.
But at 857, dial 877-767-4760.
This is so good. I'm so glad we changed it. This number's way better, gang. All right. Bottom of the barrel. It's where you are. The scores that we missed today that we got a straight bottom with.
Do we have a salver for that? No, we don't.
We got barrel pigs.
Oh, yeah, that's
We should get a bottom of the barrels
I
opener.
think we
too.
did, but it was only for Friday.
Yeah. Let's play it every day, even though it says
It's Friday. It's the last day of the week. These are the bottom of the barrel picks.
So a NASA spacecraft beamed a cat video to Earth from how far away?
19 million miles.
Yeah.
How about that, huh? Yeah. A cat video. So,
video?
yes, I forget the cat's name. Hang on. Good name. Anyways, it was a NASA scientist cat. The cat was named Cooper. So we have a satellite that was 19 million miles away, and we were like, we should try this new laser beam. It's called the Flight Laser. We're gonna see if it works. It's gonna change how we communicate and how we can send signals out into space. So they sent the signal back from the satellite to Earth, 19 million miles. They sent a video, and it worked. And what did they decide to do? A cat video.
I'm watching it right now. It is Taters, the 3-year-old orange cat, chasing a laser across a boat tower.
Yeah, Taters.
What if it would have gone wrong in that laser?
Oh yeah.
You know what? That was a chance we had to take because we had to get Taters to get that video.
Also, drought-prone California okays new rules for turning wastewater directly into what?
Drinking water.
Like food water? So,
That's
yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Food wa-
Run
not
that
just
thing to the griddle.
Well, that's what I was saying yesterday. If you're super
Brita.
hydrated and you pee directly into a Brita, guess what you have on the other side? California water.
Also, if you're looking to buy a Tesla Cybertruck, but you're on the fence because you're like, I don't know, it just doesn't do enough for me. They're going to be selling a mod. It turns it into a boat.
Are you kidding me?
Drive it right
Do
into
you
the water.
have any idea? I live in Boston. They have these duck boat tours.
Yeah.
They got them here. Yeah. The only thing I live like nearby the launching port. The only thing I want more than a flying car is a duck boat. Just to drive. We can have it now. The future's here.
They
I
tried
kinda
this
want
in the
one.
60s.
I want one that goes
A sub.
like you go
A cyber sub.
drive
Cyber sub.
on the ground.
Oh, it needs to be very heavy.
This is a great idea.
Yeah.
though.
We need a cyber sub. We'll get Elon Musk on the phone. Who do we think, man?
Thank you, Joy Taylor. Thank you, Richard Armberger. Thank you, Travis Bell. Thank you, Ryan Lindley, for putting out a badass gift to derail the show. Thank you to Texas. Brody's the number one.
857 at,
Kevin.
at 877 767 4760. Right at 857. Call that wonderful new number that we have at the station, and you can go to the Holiday Bowl. What would you rather? We'll talk about that. That is the worst number. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow.